All right, what up? What up? What up? What up? We back. We back. We back. Oh, Lord Jesus, y'all give me no breaks, no intermission, no life. I am not culture. I am not doing this. I am not built for YouTube streets all day, every day. Okay? What the hell? Nah, but hey, we are back. We are ready to love. We're gonna get ready to start to see my thoughts is all over the place now. We're gonna get ready to have a discussion on Ready to Love last night's episode. We got to meet the parents and whatnot. At least some people's families, not the parents only, but we got to meet the families. There's a lot going on last night in last night's episode. Of course, we had two people go home, and now we're down to three final couples, and we are going to talk about it tonight. So before we start, please, as always, if you do me a solid, throw me some lime green hearts in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Say hello to everybody in the chat. Get to know one another, because we're going to have an open conversation respectfully amongst one another. Okay, we're going to try to be grown tonight. I'm gonna try not to be as petty as I usually am. We're gonna see what happens. You know, I got a couple of people and they might have had a little something in their system, so we don't know what's gonna happen, but we're gonna try to be on our best behaviors as good as possible. Can't make no promises. Yes, we are back at 15 and child. I don't know how we doing it, but please come in, say hello to everybody. Show me a hello by liking the channel, liking this video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification button for those of you who need to reminders like me, okay? And, you know, just greet everybody respectfully up in here. We're going to try to keep it respectful and get through the night, all right? I was not prepared to go back to back tonight, so this is why I have trying to get all my energy back up. And if I fall asleep through this live, please forgive me. I was drinking some Theraflu just now, so it might kick in. So we're going to try to keep it up, all right? Y'all going to have to help me through this tonight. But yes, we're going to talk Ready to Love right now. And I do have a special guest for you guys. If you guys were with me on the last live, you already know who it is. We have the Superman himself, Tyrone.
What's going on, y'all? I'm actually wearing my super dad shirt
Okay. Come on,
tonight.
super dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at it. We have to ask your daughter if she has the same opinion of it. No,
It was her shirt. She got this for me, so this is my way of saying hello. Hey, baby.
No, I'm just messing with you. You know, kids always love their daddy. It's all this love their daddy. At least I do. I love mine. You're probably mad at me because I didn't answer his call, but yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
Yes, we are here. We're getting ready to talk about last night's episode 11. We got one more to go before the seasons get into its reunion. And boy, it's been a ride. This back to back coming from y'all season to this season is a lot. It's a lot. I don't need no more back to backs. Okay, I'm not Drake. I don't want no more. All right.
I'm just, how do I explain it? I was excited for them. I feel like they're, RTL family. So I want to support them. But I do know, like, there's no way to go through this whole process with no drama. Right. And I just remember, the first couple episodes, people were saying, ain't going to be like no drama like the DC drama. This cast is so much better and so much more mature. Not saying that they're not mature, but I just know that the drama is going to come. So I was just like, just wait. Just wait.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Listen, it's hard to, unfortunately, it's hard to put us together and not have the drama, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying us as Black people. It's just hard to put a group of people, different individuals together in a space for over a period of time and just not have something happen.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's almost guaranteed. And then if you add in any type of alcohol or whatever other substance.
Truth or dare.
Your other substance.
Yeah.
And when you involve the heart,
when
you involve matters of the heart, things are bound to get tested and heated and ugly. It get ugly.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
this heart get ugly real quick.
Hmm.
So yeah, like we like usually do over here anyway. What was your overall thoughts on last night's episode?
Oh man, I think I might have mentioned this before, but last night's episode um kind of made me realize that in the end, it's entertainment, and it was kind of disheartening, really, because there are people that put their heart and soul into the process, and I think it does a disservice when people don't take the process seriously, or when it comes off as if they're not taking the process seriously.
Hmm.
And there could have been some real connections made by people who really, really wanted to make a connection. So
Right.
when it comes off as insincere, I can see how people would get frustrated about it,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I definitely see. I seen by last night's episode, it was a lot of wasted time on a lot of people's part. And I say that because I don't think proper conversations were had or proper communication. Let me say proper communication because the conversation was probably there, but people weren't properly communicating different things when they needed to be. We got late bloomers coming in when they've been there since
Hmm.
day one.
Hmm.
People holding on to connections that they know they just deep down inside they just know it's just
Yeah, it was like the epitome of DC dating. Like, I need to see something from you before I move forward. And
wow.
everyone's just being passive aggressive, and no one's showing anyone anything because they're waiting for the right level of something in order for them to be their true selves. And
That's
that means nothing's going to ever happen because
and
everyone's just
that's
waiting.
actually DC dating.
Oh, yeah, we spoiled, especially the dudes here. Yeah, we spoiled. I'll admit it. I'll admit it.
Okay, so that makes sense of what we're seeing because this is just like a norm. What we're
Yeah.
seeing is norm for you guys. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
seems
yeah.
crazy to us, but it's normal.
Yeah, like in order for me to, like, it's tons of women here. So in order for me to choose you, like, you guys show me something that's different than from what I'm seeing from 20, 30 women whenever I go out.
It, and it's. I want to say that, and I'm going to just say this because I
Hmm.
feel like in Atlanta it's that same, almost that same ratio where it's the women is really outnumbering the men. Yet
Yeah.
it's the approach is not the same still though. And I don't know, maybe it's because of the work status that you guys have, the titles that you guys have as far as jobs go in DC or whatnot. Why you guys feel a little bit more entitled to be like a little bit more pampered to that regards, or I don't know. Like
But Atlanta's like Black Mecca, right? You're
mhm.
going to most likely see a lot more successful dudes in Atlanta than here. Like, I think the average, if I want to call it like the mean or the average, uh in Atlanta may be a little bit higher than here. Like, it's a lot more. I feel like it may be a lot more successful men here, but I feel like in Atlanta the success is higher, if that makes sense. Like, there may be more black millionaires in Atlanta than here.
I'm sorry, the women outnumber men, period. So I don't know how we can. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. Women outnumber men, period, in the world. So I
yeah.
don't know how we work that one out. But I get where you're saying.
So
We
she said the women do not outnumber men.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess on the Virginia side, but technically women outnumber men, period, in the world. So
Don't
uh
feel that. Don't feel that way.
I don't know, but I mean, I guess maybe the ratio of single women to single men where you're at don't outnumber. I don't really know.
Or single successful men. Like, I'm anxious to see this Miami season because I really don't think there's a lot of single successful black men. I mean, in Miami.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't think there's a lot of just, I mean, not in Miami. They're gonna definitely go on the outskirts of Florida. I mean Miami, because there's not like a lot of just black men unless we just start going into, and I'm just saying just like
Right.
that, unless we start going into
Hmm.
different cultures of black men,
Hmm.
because we do have them in different cultures. It's just
Okay.
they're not going to technically be fully African American black men,
Hey, Crystal.
whatever and stuff. But yeah, yeah, I didn't know that was what the case is. 'Cause I'm just looking at this and it's just like it's different. It's different, and for some of us, like I'm kind of a Courtney type, so I don't have a problem approaching somebody or whatnot.
Hmm.
I'm going to approach you so far, though. I'm not going to chase you
Hmm.
all the way around. But I look at it like this: in the wild, prey predator goes after like almost vulnerable
The
prey.
week. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes after the weak, but it doesn't really go after the strong unless it's totally hungry. And so, like, I will have to present myself as something kind of weak, but I'm still like good enough for a chase. Like, you're gonna have to put some work
Yeah.
in.
You're gonna get what you attract though.
Yeah, like I'll
So.
play that little game with you for a little bit, but if
Hmm.
I show you something and you don't show me back, then I'm moving on. That's just me. I'm not
Right.
gonna sit here and waste our time trying to
Hmm.
keep pulling you in and just keep begging you in different forms. That's how I kind of look at what
Hmm.
I've been seeing. Go ahead,
I
Chris.
agree, Jay. The cat and mouse game here in Atlanta, because that's where I am, is very prevalent, but it's in reverse. Like they want to be chased here, and I'm not used to that, and that's not what I do.
Oh, so the
So
men
yeah.
do it there too, huh? I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm so weird because where I go, I be chased.
And I'm not gonna chase you. And like you said, I do agree with the Courtney talk. Let them know that you're interested, but I'm not gonna keep chasing you. I'm not gonna.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna chase you. I get it. I get. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Hmm.
just be all over, but yeah, to an extent. It's
Yeah,
very
I'll say
interesting
to an
that
extent,
this
but
show was this episode was ooh.
yeah, once you put a break, when you put a break up on it and stuff like that, and like I
Hmm.
say, to each his own. You guys might never chase a man, but
Hmm.
I'll walk. I'm not gonna chase you, but I'll walk closely behind you
Yeah.
for a cool minute
It
until
it
they
But
end up
what?
it
pulling my turn
Yep.
off.
it also seemed like they knew a lot more about each other behind the scenes than we did, and it just seemed like in the end they were still trying to keep it classy or as classy as they can.
Oh, that word. That's the new
Yeah.
word right now. Classy is getting on
What?
my nerves.
Why is that getting on your nerves, Jay?
Because everybody wants to throw that word that's the new word now. Like
Hmm.
last season was gaslighted and this and that. And now the
Hmm.
classy is a new word this season. Everything is classy. It's like, okay, all
Yeah,
right.
they were trying.
We have our
The
classy
hmm.
moments,
Hmm.
but we ain't all the way classy. Like,
Yeah.
let's just put it together.
Yeah. I bet production put in work this season.
I
Yeah,
agree.
they look like they did.
No doubt, production put in
Uh-huh.
work.
Uh-huh.
They did. They did. Definitely did that. I mean, I was like, even with the last episode, I noticed a lot of little cuts and stuff, and I was just like, why? Wait, weren't they just
Hmm.
okay? Never mind. I'm not gonna even try to wreck my brain on it or whatever. I'm watching too much
Just
because
go with it. Just roll
yeah,
with
like
it.
I'll see it too much, but I'm just like, because it wasn't even the main people that was happening. It was happening to. It was like things in the
Hmm.
background was going on. I was like, wait a minute, they just got up and left. How are they back? Like, okay, moving on. Like that's how I just looked at
Hmm.
it. So, eh, yeah, I am ready for the next season. I think this just going back to back without the pause to reset as an audience is just a lot. Because we're still kind of coming off of y'all season and all that drama. Then we got this season, and it started off good. Then the drama came, and then it's just so
Yeah,
much.
I felt like they was trying to ride that wave. You know what I mean? They were trying to ride that
Mhm.
wave. They was getting a bunch of views. We got from what we were told. We got a lot of success from our season. It just seemed like they want to kind of change the narrative because it didn't end well. So they started a new one, and it just almost ended up being the same exact thing.
So they want to keep up the momentum. They just want to keep the momentum going. Let's just go right in, no breath. Go
because
right
there was a lot. So one, there was a lot of people complaining about our season.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they had a lot of options to choose from. Like they definitely could have used maybe another season in DC with the amount of options that are
That's
available
true.
here, especially if they're going to include the entire DMV.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a ton of successful people here that could be dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like with all of the attention and with all the extra views that we were getting, yeah, I felt like they just wanted to keep that going.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even if
they
it was
have
negative.
Even
have had a pattern of
negative.
two seasons
Mhm.
in a city, so I think that's why they moved on or whatever.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like they just how they did you guys this season back to back like this. It was almost like let's just get out of this area, just period. Like let's
Get
just
a
go.
whole fresh start. Let's just take
Just
it.
done with
Yeah,
this.
they were taping.
No.
We found out that they were taping, and I don't even think we had our
You guys didn't.
we didn't even have our reunion yet. We didn't even tape our reunion yet, and they were taping on
Because
the
what
side.
you guys wrapped up before reunion in August, right? Or something like that. Or
I think
September.
so. I think it
'Cause
felt like it was late. It felt like it was late in the year.
Okay, it was like September, I thought. So was it October?
Yeah,
Was
it
it
felt
October?
late.
I think their reunion was like in October or something like that. Like
I think
they
okay. Yeah, I think y'all watched it late, but I
Got
think
it.
we taped like months before that.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, 'cause I think their reunion was somewhere October, November, in that area. But I think you guys finished somewhere about August, September, and they were starting in September already. So
Yeah,
you guys were almost taping simultaneously.
yeah. Because I was trying to see the outfits that they were wearing and what the weather was like, and I was like, that was really, really close
Mhm.
to our season. Like this episode was the first time I even saw a jacket. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they
You're
didn't
right.
even wear a jacket till they got to the retreats.
Right. Like Clifton had on a jacket, and then that's when they started to bundle up.
Yeah.
Was this last
Mhm.
couple of episodes? You're right. Yep.
Yeah, because from according to a lot of them in their lives, it was hot on their first day, so
Oh
it
yeah.
was still hot. It was still summer, September, hottest
Yeah.
month of the year. So they were still feeling it.
Makes sense.
hmm So, anyways, okay. So, like I said, I was not prepared, so I don't forgot what happened in the episode. So I'm trying to remember what was the first thing that who did? Oh, okay. So the men met. Okay, y'all gotta work with me because I ain't get to work
And
as many times
Donovan,
as I normally
Donovan
do.
had a one-on-one with Sabrina.
No, but that was later on. And so when we started off, the men
Was it
met.
Donovan?
They had 2 dates. They had two
They-
dates, right?
Donovan had a one-on-one first, and then Dimitri. Both
but-
teams had one.
And before all of that, the men was met at the men's lounge. That's
Mhm.
where I was starting. Yeah, I was trying to remember the beginning of this. So the men met at the men's lounge with Tommy, and it's the final four. So we got Donovan, Paul, Demetrius, and Clifton. So that's our final four for the men. So we're down to them. Of course, we know Tina gone. She gone. Gone. We don't know why she gone. I don't know how she gone, but she didn't show up for Tommy. So she gone. So we down to Joy, Sabrina, Dakia, and Carmen. So we got our 4 and 4. So we're meeting the parents, the family this season, this episode. And Lord Jesus, we're meeting the family this episode, and so how this go? We have both Donovan and Demetrius kind of want to have a meeting before they even suggest to Sabrina about meeting.
Right.
I mean, having her meet the family or whatnot.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about Demetrius and Sabrina together in their meeting. I should have went to somebody more simple and went to Dakia and Paul first and got them out there.
Yeah, I was like, let's go to the Clifton.
We're gonna rearrange. We're gonna save Sabrina for last because that's a lot. Okay,
we can enjoy met her the aunt and uncle like.
Yes, no, we Yes, okay. We're gonna I'm sorry, we're gonna
I feel like
retract
that
this.
was
I'm sorry, y'all.
close to the
Sorry in the
beginning
audience. Y'all
anyway.
gotta bear with me. I told you this last bit. I was not prepared. Okay. I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. I was not prepared. But let's get Dakia and Paul out the way. Okay.
Okay.
First they have their meeting to clear the air on the things that Carmen has said last week or whatnot. Funny notion. This is just me, but if I feel like I don't trust what she say, and I trust what he say, there's no questions I need to ask him. But however, Dakia has questions that she needs to clear up.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all thinking about these two right here? This late bloom couple, how they friends for life, or do you think we can grow into something more than this? What do y'all think?
You want to go there,
Seem,
Ron?
yeah, it seemed like a first date. Again, it seemed like a first date that they try to play as the eighth or ninth date.
Right.
They both seem like Dakia seems surprised, like, are you serious? Um, but I applaud them for trying to continue to go through the process. I feel like at this point, like there's really no need to eliminate themselves. They could still get some more screen time. They could still, give the world the opportunity to show a little bit of them, and then just at the end, just say, I choose myself. But that's what it felt like. It felt almost forced a little bit.
It definitely felt forced. They're trying to make something out of nothing. They're the last two that don't have a connection. So let's try to make something and let's just, make something out of nothing, like I just said.
Mhm.
But I felt like Paul's the one that called the little meeting because he wanted to make sure, because it was weighing on him because
Mhm.
he was feeling a little guilty. And Dakia said that she doesn't believe anything that Carmen said. Well, I said this last week on my show that I think he said it. I think that she probably put a little bit extras on it, but I
Mhm.
think that he said some variation of it. And so when he explained it, I said that sounds just like Carmen. That sounds just like what she
Yeah.
said. It's that because remember in the hot tub when she was talking to Donovan, she said Sabrina's a good girl, but I'm a good woman. Stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
I said, so that's how she said, that's how she put it. I said, also, he did say it, or
Yeah. He pretty much said, I said it, but I didn't say it like that.
mm-hmm.
He definitely
That's how
said,
it came off.
yeah, he definitely said something. And I mean, she could have put her 10 on too or whatnot.
Mhm.
But when you do go back and listen to it, as she explains it, she never actually said the Kia. She hinted a lot that it was the Kia. He admitted that she went to saying like, well, is
Mm-hmm.
that the Kia? Is that the Kia or whatnot?
Mhm.
And he just switched it up to, oh no, I went to I said this and I wasn't referring that you can't do it like this or whatever. But it's
Mhm.
like you said something
Mhm.
on top of you're still saying something else afterwards. Again, this is the second time you're saying that Carmen is surface and these type of things. And you're praising the Kia in front of her or whatnot, or with Tommy, but at the same time, where was this in the beginning? That's my question.
Yeah. I call it Paul splaining.
Yes. Paul does a
Yeah.
lot of that. Thank
Yeah.
you, Sarah.
It's Paul splaining, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
And this is the thing. And no slight to Paul, no slight to Paul, but people out there
Mhm.
that talk a lot, they tend to talk themselves into things and don't realize it because you're just rambling sometimes. You're just going on, and people that are actually listening to you pick up on the discrepancies of how you when you continue to talk. So sometimes you just
Yeah.
gotta reel it in a little bit,
Yeah.
and
It,
just like hone it.
yeah.
Talking
I,
loud and saying nothing is what we
yeah.
want. Talking loud and saying
I
nothing.
I get it. It happens to me. It just seems like his brain was filling in things that his mouth wasn't.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. And now you got to try to clear it up. It's like when you tell
Yeah.
that one lie, and now you got to tell another lie and stuff. And sometimes when you just don't have that filter
Hmm.
on your mouth, you got to try to clean it up, and then it doesn't come out clean again, still, because you're still spewing out more stuff now, and it just gets worse as you
But don't you
progress.
feel like, hey, Seaway, hey, Sean, don't you feel like he talks in a lot of one-liners?
Hey.
Um, I think, like I said, when you watch him on his live, opposed to this, it's editing when it comes down. And I'm not going to take that away. I'm not going to take that from him, that because Paul is long-winded. When you really watch him, he's long-winded. So editing to chop a lot of his stuff up or whatnot. He gives long explanations when he does things or whatnot. So if you watch him on his live, you can kind of get how Paul is. And I think editing just took the best parts for what they wanted out of all he say. He's perfect for them for this, because he's going to talk.
Yeah, I think his brother talks the same way. They both talk like they're reading from a cue card.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like it's coming out a lot longer than it should.
Yeah. Hey, Seaway. Hey, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys
What's going on,
y'all? What's going on?
Hey. We're just talking about Dakia and Paul right now. So, you know, give us your thoughts on them too.
See where you want to go first, or no? You tell me.
You can go first.
Okay. So, I mean, I think what we're seeing is a lot of scrambling around to kind of make these connections in the ninth hour, you know, just to kind of fill a space. It does, you know, I do kind of see that it does seem like Paul has some level of interest. I just don't know enough to know if it's something just manufactured, or is there a genuine interest really in Dakia. I did understand when he explained it to Dakia what was said. Now, if that's the full story, who knows? But it sounds like she was probing him, which Carmen has been known to do with some of the other guys, is just asking them about the other connections they have and what do they like, right? So it sounds like she asked him what kind of woman he likes, and he explained it. And then she asked him, is that Dakia? And he said, it's none of your business, or I don't feel like I have to answer that to you. Now, if we take what he said, then it's more like she's interpreting, because he didn't answer it directly and say yes, that Dakia doesn't have, you know, the sex appeal or the body type that he most prefers. So I don't know. Again, I don't know why any of this information was really necessary. I don't know why, even if it was said, it had to be said in this particular setting. It's messy. It can be hurtful. So I think we should just take it with a grain of salt and just keep it trucking, because I don't see Dakia and Paul going far anyway, body type or otherwise, preferences aside. I don't think it's going to happen. Even she was reluctant when eventually he got to the point of asking her to meet his brother. So I think she knows it's kind of like down to the wire. Let's just kind of go through the motions. She made a slight reference to that. And I think Paul really liked Tina, because he was like, he felt like he wasted his time. And the fact that she played games, he just kind of was like, all right, well, let me see who else is out here, and I see the kind of woman you are. But lastly, I'll say, like, even he made mention to the answers that she had when the brother was asking questions. He was like, it seems like, you know, very cookie cutter, or, you know, the perfect answers to the questions. So I don't know. I if I'm really being honest, I don't think Dakia's match is amongst this particular cast.
You're right. I don't think either one of them matches upon this cast. You know, they pretty much went through the whole cast between the two, outside of dating the same sex. And yeah.
Well, Paul's meeting a family though, so it's moving somewhere. I mean, But
I
Paul's
bring my
been
friends to my family, Tyrone. Quit playing.
but she brought her mom on, right? Was it the mom and the brother? I think.
I don't know who it is. I didn't catch
But
the
yeah.
clip.
And Sean mentioned filler. I do feel like Paul has been really good filler for all of the episodes that he's been on. He's
Mhm.
been, I mean, I would say solid, but for what the show would be looking for, in terms of like keeping people glued to the TV, Paul's been that in every episode.
Yeah, he has. I give him that. Seaway thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think Paul's been decent TV, but that's about it. I mean, as far as like looking for love, I'm not sure what he's looking for. But with the Dakia situation, I feel like his answer, his response about how that really went down was, I don't know, I wasn't 100% convinced. Mostly because I feel like if someone says something like that in an open forum and you don't correct it, or at least from what editing showed, he really didn't correct it 100% or really even at all when they were all together. I'm not going to believe his cookie cutter answer a couple days later, because if it really went down the way he said it went down, I would correct it, at that moment, at that time. So I don't believe it was as cute as he made it seem. But of course, Carmen gonna put 10 on 2. She gonna do nothing else. So, there's that. But Dakia, literally her response during this episode when they were asking her different questions, I feel like it was the same response I've heard her say like 2 other times in 2 different dates with family or friends or whoever else. So I don't get why Dakia is still participating and meeting these close relatives and friends when she knows she don't see it for Paul, which has me thinking I don't know what she's doing this for, again, because she knows she don't see it for Paul. Paul may see it for her a little bit, but she doesn't see it for him. They are definitely giving friend vibes 100%. So why she's still sticking around to go through these motions is beyond me. So, they're cordial. They'll leave the show cordial, but that's about it. It's kind of all I think about them. Paul looks like he'd be decent for somebody, but it's just not, it's not on this show.
I guess they had they both matched up in the beginning, it would have made sense because they both went to Pittsburgh State. They got she went to Pitt State. He's from Pittsburgh. They got a lot in common. They both kind of want some of the same things. I just don't. I feel like if you guys wanted each other, this would have happened a lot sooner. This would have happened a lot sooner, and because it never happened a lot sooner, now we're just kind of forcing it. We're trying to turn a friendship into a relationship. You guys are good friends, and that's what it is. Let's just be honest. But this is ready for love, not ready for friends. And so we just need to be honest with ourselves and say, you know what, my person's not here, and that's okay. It was just funny to me when Paul gets into the deliberation and it's like, you gave us 10 people to select from and to find the quality out of that, and I did it. No, like, sir, you didn't. You're supposed to find your match.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
Like, you didn't do that. I am so sorry. But I like the questions that the brother asked. The kid did give, like you said, the generic responses to it. And I expect that because it's no real chemistry there. It's not. So I'm going to give you the cookie cutter answers, but Paul gives the same thing too. We're going to see next week. I do remember now, Tyrone, when the mama was like, I want grandbabies. I was looking like, do she know her daughter? Because I could have swore her daughter was like, she don't want no kids, really. She ain't really pressed for them. I was like, who is this lady you brought on this show?
Jay,
Huh?
I would add too, in terms of Dakia and those answers, I think that's just her personality, because that was some of the feedback even Clifton was giving about her, like when he called her 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she just, she says it, like she'll say, well, I'm used to being, in control and giving orders, and I want to let my guard down and do that. I don't want to take the lead in my relationship, and I want to let my guard down when I'm home. But I don't think she does that. Well, at least we don't see it,
That's what I was
because
going to say. That's
outside of those little innuendos and the silliness, I mean, that's fun and all, but at the end of the day, who is the real Dakia? And is she comfortable just telling it like it is and saying it like it is? And as much as I know we'll get to Sabrina later, I mean, she probably needs to tone it down a little bit, whereas Dakia needs to, just show us her authentic self a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Good,
I think it was called out by her and by Paul, basically saying, her corporate representative is always out. But Paul was like, I bet if you get her home, it'll be a totally different story.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like she doesn't know how to turn the engineer off when she's having a conversation. I think that's what's his name, the brother. I think that's what he meant, and because this is like the second or third person that said that. Like she's kind of corporate or she's real professional, and I think that she knows how to be feminine. Like somebody said in the chat that she just but she doesn't know how to be feminine. She's feminine, but it's just that style of conversating that she just doesn't turn
It's
off.
not even about her femininity. It's about her corporate hat. She just does not take it off at any point. And that's a shield. That's a guard. And then that's what Sean is saying. She needs to let that part of her down so she can be a bit vulnerable in this process to find her person. Like everybody's connecting with you on a business level. So there's no romance for anybody. And that's why you're not finding your one that you really want as far as a partner. You're finding people you can work with. You're finding a team, you know what I'm saying? Like a corporate team, but we're not finding a person that I want to go home and be with at night because there's no romance there for nobody. And on the flip side, that could have been where Paul was probably going with that statement he made as don't doing it, because I don't want to talk business to you if I'm trying to be intimate with you. I don't want you talking corporate to me if I'm trying to be intimate with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that could have been some of the thing. I'm not trying to give him an out, but that could have been some of the discussion that he possibly was having at one point with it. I don't know. He said what he said. He said he didn't say it like that, and that's what it is. But he said something to that regard, so we know. And that's true. She has not been vulnerable at all. High vibes. She's gives rehearsed answers, and that's going to be a problem as you continue to find somebody. We just got through talking about this on the last live of being vulnerable. You gotta give something sometimes or whatnot. But yeah. Anyway, though, moving on. We'll see next week how that goes when they meet Mom Duke Santa and we go ahead and say no to each other, because that's what's going to lead to. I just don't see them going any further. I don't know if anybody got a difference of opinion on that. Okay, so moving on. We're going to go ahead with Joy and Clifton. Joy got to meet Clifton's cousins and his uncle. And how do y'all feel about that?
I mean, it was solid. It went well. I mean, until, she mentioned the fact that she may be out of the country for 6 months. I mean, aside from that, I mean, he has to accept the fact that that's her profession. I'm sure that's probably not the first time they had that conversation. It's just bringing it up in front of his family, made her feel some type of way about that. She understands that, that is a long time. It is a long time, and we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, half a year is a long time, and she may mention that they've talked about it before. I think the severity didn't hit her until she mentioned it to the family and get their reactions to it as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, 6 months is a long time. I liked the interaction with the family members, because I felt like the uncle, he asked good questions. He has 2 kids. How do you think that you'll mesh with that? You're an artist, he's a workaholic. I think that they had good questions. I mean, it was a nice day. I do think that Clifton, I don't know, I still sometimes feel like Clifton is not as invested as Joy, but I think that he's, more. I felt more like he was more invested this episode than before. That's it. I was like, okay. I feel like Tyra was like, okay.
Yeah. Seaway.
Hey,
Hey.
sorry. We talking about Clifton and Joy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 6 months thing, that's gonna be a reach. It's gonna be hard. That's what we're talking about, right? Sorry, I have people. Yeah. The 6 month thing is gonna be difficult. I guess I'm assuming that he already knew. It was a surprise to us, but not a surprise to him. So that's good at least. But I'm not sure why she went on this. Well, I'm not saying she shouldn't go on the show just because she travels for work, but this just seems like she would have to find someone who maybe could go with her, and it sounds like maybe he can't. So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. It's a long time to make that work, unless he can go with her, or he has like one of those remote jobs where he can pop in, pop out, and be more flexible. But if he's not flexible, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it does require a little bit of flexibility or understanding, and not having one of your love languages be quality time and physical touch. Because if that's the case, you child, yeah, better that FaceTime is gonna be high. That FaceTime time is gonna be real high. I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, Sean, are you there? Sean might not be there. Okay. I'll say this. I did appreciate the family both questioning both Joy and Clifton. They didn't just question Joy. They also questioned Clifton about how he felt on a lot of things that she was even giving the answers to. The going away thing that's a lot. That is a whole lot to deal with, especially when you're first building a foundation with somebody. You know, as it gets a little hard, but we do know that some people can adapt to long distance relationships pretty well. You know, if they continue to communicate the way they have seemingly been doing, because like you said, see what he's already known about her going away, and that there's going to be a possibility of this happening if they continue. There's going to be a couple of sacrifices going to have to be made whenever somebody gets a break and can get away. They're just gonna have to make them trips, and frequent flyer miles is gonna have to go up. You know, Mexico is quite a ways from DC. Yeah, it'd be different if he was in Cali or something, or Mexico. I mean, in Texas or something. But you know, it's a little ways from DC. But you got to make it work. If it's something that you really want, you will find a way to make it work. That's for sure. So the question is, do Clifton and Joy really, really want this? And so that's what they're going to have to figure out for themselves, if this is what they really do want, and they want it with each other. Then they can, you know, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay if they just continue down the path they're going. But I don't know, Aaron, you kind of know a little bit more, like you've been in this experience. And so spending so much time with the person like this, and then having to say, okay, that's it, got to cut you off, and now I got to go do this.
It's tough. Remember, I've also been deployed twice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not easy, but I think they can do it. You know, it's just 6 months. You know what I mean? It's only 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't get through 6 months, you know, then maybe it wasn't that strong.
True. I also look at it kind of like what Jay, Brad, and them from the retreat, like how he says it, the retreat had them like confined to their grounds for however many weeks that they are on. So it's like you're spending so much time with the person, and then have to go into the real world. And granted, you might not live too far from each other, but now you have everything in the real world happening. And that starts to create that divide. And they're kind of living in the real world, but her real world is I leave for 6 months every year for this type of thing. And if this is a every year thing, who is going to make the more sacrifice here? She's going to give up her career to come and be here, or is he going to really put up with it for so long? So these are a lot more questions that they probably have to ask each other as they continue to go along with it. You know, how far we get deep into it. Will he up and get a job and be gone for 6 months with her, you know, but he also has his kids too. So it's a lot. It's a lot. That's another thing too. Joy doesn't have any kids, huh? No, she said she.
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
They asked her.
Huh?
I didn't know she didn't have any kids, but yeah.
yeah. So, but she did sound like she'd be a great bonus mom in the time being. She said, like, she don't mind that he got him. I don't know. I personally hope it works for him. I've been, we've been watching him. I know a lot of y'all keep saying y'all don't think he's as invested and whatnot. I've been the tug of war between the investments of it all. Because I remember in the beginning, I just thought he was being a creepy of how invested he was in the beginning and stuff. And now it's the other way. So I don't think it's tug of war.
I have mixed feelings about that. I think, in a way, he had to show some type of connection to someone else, or else he could have been voted off. He was only getting one vote. So I ain't saying that he used Dakia for votes, but you gotta kind of play the game a little bit if you want to see your journey play out in the end with your person.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at before. It was that to me that, I think after that first time he was getting all them votes and Joy was like, oh, hold up now. You got to change this up a little bit. I need you to stay a little longer. You got to do something. Start talking to somebody else or something, be here. What is the Sean, you back with us? You made it in. Where's my Abby?
The only thing I was going to say is I agree. I'm glad that they did. He did date other people, and she dated Paul and stuff like that. They didn't do what the other couple did on last season, and went exclusively. But they still, made sure and they kept their interest with each other. But they dated other people and sprinkled their love around, so it didn't look like they were just being exclusive, so they could just be voted off very quickly. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Healthy. I keep muting myself. It was healthy. Sean, you back with us?
I'm here. Shuffling around. Just got in the door.
We're just talking about Joy and Clifton. You get your thoughts on them before we move on.
Yeah, no, I heard most of what you were saying. I appreciate everybody's optimism, but looking at just the Ready to Love track record alone, coupling that with her being out of the country for 6 months, I don't think that's going to work.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work.
Not to put pressure on them, but if they don't, then the show will have a 0% success rate for this cast.
There you go. And I think that's the route we're heading.
They had 0 for last time too.
Well, at least at the reunion. They had a couple of people.
That was all fake though. Well, I guess aside for Aisha and Dante.
Well, Cornelius and Camille still together.
Yep.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay.
I knew I was gonna.
Well, nevertheless, success ratio aside, I think that's a lot. And you heard even Clifton mention like it's going to be difficult, because he likes that, and I don't know who doesn't, like that connection, and to have to be without it for 6 months, especially in a very, very new relationship. It's a very new relationship, a relationship that didn't start off traditionally, right? Where you got time to know the person and really got comfortable understanding what a long distance relationship would look like. And then accepted. I think that just sets them up for not being successful, right? Unless they really, really do some deep, work together and are able to, really get a very firm foundation. And it sounds like at the end of the day, that 6 months could be coming up any time, because if she was on this show for 6 to 8 weeks during that process, maybe 3 months prior to that, she was back in DC. It sounds like she's about to head off to, from the way it sounds to me, sounds like she's about to catch that flight to Cancun.
It's a good point,
or
Sean.
Puerto Vallarta, wherever she's going.
Because
So
she's been doing this for what, let's say 90 days. And so she's got another 3 months to be, or 90 days to be stateside after the show for them to connect after the show. And then she's going
for 6 months. Now he has a couple of kids. From what I understand, his job, I don't know if there's a remote component to it or not. But I don't know if Mexico is in the cards for him to just be traveling to. Definitely, I think if anything, his kids would probably prevent him from being there for quite a long time.
I'd say for me, this is just my personal opinion. I think it's too soon for both of them to make a real sacrifice for the other, as far as like quitting a gig or, uprooting and being gone for so many months. They just going to have to figure out how to make it work if they want. And like I said, this is something that they have to decide they really, really is like, I want, because at the end of the day, no matter who Joy is going to be with, they're going to have to deal with her being gone for the 6 months. Clifton can possibly find somebody more local or whatever and stuff, but Joy, that's something that she's going to have somebody have understanding what she's doing, or be with somebody that is on the road with her, so.
And my bad, I forgot about Donovan and Carmen, so 20%.
Look, Sean has ye of little faith of anything. Okay, you can't tell Sean. Sean does not have faith.
No, I'm not messing with Donovan and Carmen. They're gonna be together forever.
We don't know. We don't know. We have
with
no
them.
clue. We have no clue. I love to say everybody be together forever, and then next week, we just couldn't make it work. Shoot.
No, I was being serious, Mia. I was being serious. I really did forget about them. I didn't want to discredit them and say they ain't gonna make it.
Sean just has little faith in this show right now. That's all. It's the people off of the show for Sean. Once you get off the show and start making a relationship, then he like, okay, you might get it.
Literally, there's better connections once the show is over. You look at Simone and Rashid.
True.
Look at you, Tyrone. Look, I know you. I know you was waiting. Yes, you and your new boo. So there you go. Sometimes it's off the show, and I think that's just to say, like, relationships really develop better in a natural environment. When you try to put them in a contrived space and you speed up the pace of things, I think sometimes it's just a challenge for forget about Ready to Love. Just look across the landscape. Married at First Sight, Put a Ring on It. Marry Me Now. We got The Ultimatum. Blind, whatever. You know what I mean? We got all these shows, but it's hard for us to really see true love connections in a somewhat produced and somewhat manufactured environment.
Yeah.
So, that's just my little 2 cents.
No, you're definitely correct. Public love is just hard, and like you said, it's a manufactured thing, and we're speed dating on crack. So,
and to Sean's point, that's the point. When we get out of this bubble, how do we vibe off of the show? How do we vibe? How do we get along in everyday life? Do we get along? Do we mesh outside of the show? And the answer is really no. Just,
a quick question. Reba and Mario, they weren't really on the show matched up. They happened to do it just before the reunion. Am I correct? They didn't leave the show together, right? Or did they? I don't really know.
I think they did, right?
Did they leave, or did they?
No.
He left with somebody. I thought he left with somebody else.
And at the reunion,
they got together.
He switched couches at the reunion.
But they are still together. So, but once again, it's kind of still after the show. Yeah. So still after the show. So yeah, we'll see. Like, maybe this is. I think, like I say, I just look at the show as a gateway to get you started. moving into the direction that you want. Hopefully we can get an actual one out of one of these seasons that actually stays together, but we'll see. It's kind of hard because when all you're picking from is just 10 people, and this is all you have to choose from, and then you're just choosing sometimes just to be choosing. I don't know. I don't know. You know, if I can only eat a bologna sandwich, I guess when I go hungry, I'm gonna only eat a bologna sandwich. That's what it's gonna be. Like that's how I chalk it up.
This ain't no regular old cracker.
So,
Y'all lost me.
but yeah, we're not. We're not about
Bologna
to start
sandwiches
quoting
and
movies.
crackers. I'm lost.
Wow.
Because he about to start quoting
That don't
movies.
even sound like good eating, Jay. Jesus, you're a chef, please.
I'm hungry. Okay, look, work with me. Y'all done got me on these back to backs.
I forgot I'm old.
without
That's
a yeah. It's Ritz.
Yeah, it's the Ritz.
That's it. He quoting stuff.
I'm old.
But yeah. Okay. So the meat and potato of the night. Because yeah, we're gonna see. Well, was there any red flags for Joy and them going into the next thing other than just still to talk about her leaving? Because they're meeting, he's meeting her family. I don't remember no clips on it. I don't know. You guys remember any clips?
No, I don't think they did any teasers or anything.
Okay. All right. Well, Lola's just
Yeah, look. It looks like it's going to go according to plan. You know, they showed Clifton, you know, with the bouquet of flowers, you know, about to, you know, say his piece at the end, and they're gonna sail off into the sunset. That's what it
Child,
it looks like.
If Joy chooses herself at the end of this, I'm gonna be done with the show.
Yo,
I'm gonna be done.
I'm already done.
I would be so done after all of that.
I'm like, that's it. Throw my whole laptop away. Y'all not get another review of this shit ever.
That's what, you know what, that's I'm feeling like that, like a little bit like y'all are doing too much. Just a little, just like this is the most surprising, like kind of like, yeah, I'm tired. But I think we've all acknowledged that there's only been one connection. Like everybody else has been playing. We know this. Like, yeah, we're looking at Sabrina. We thought Donovan was kind of cute. I felt like she liked Donovan more, but I like the way Sabrina's playing. Sabrina's playing like X equals Y squared. That, like, she's being very clear. She's not going with her emotions. And I feel like people are having a problem with that. But I feel like she's staying true to herself. Tyrone, you were talking about boundaries, weren't you? Like, she knows what her boundaries are. And she's like, this is what I'm not going to do. This is where I'm not going. And so that's where she feels like she's not crossing it.
Yeah.
I don't know how men feel about it, but I'm not mad at her. Last week, I called her the MVP because she's doing what she's doing. Like, y'all can hate if you want to.
I got mixed feelings, you know. I got mixed feelings about, you know, there's one thing with her seeing it. I think there's another thing with her expressing how she feels to the other men, you know, because she had Tori hanging on for 3-4 weeks now.
She didn't have him hanging on. He had himself hanging on. What were he looking at?
She didn't have that conversation with him to the retreat. She didn't let him know what was up.
Look, if it quacks like a duck and it works like a duck, it's a duck, right?
But she could have let him know that.
They told her. I'm not taking that from you.
Uh-huh.
You're right. I feel like the conversation would have been a conclusion, but they told her the person of whatever you're interested in now, go peck on his ear. She didn't walk up to Tori. She went to Demetrius. That's all I need to know. Like right in that moment, I need to start playing with my head working and start figuring out what other connection do I have. He stayed in a corner sulking, and he didn't really work any other connections. That's why he went home. Like, who was he really connected to?
No, what I'm saying is the conversation that she had with Tori, when she says on the beanbag, I don't really see a connection here.
Yes.
That could have happened 4 episodes ago.
It could have, but it didn't.
She knew that when she got the cupcakes.
Yo, the boys, you're right. You're right. When he had those 2 cupcakes scattered in the box, like, but the thing is, though, we like you've done. This is your show.
Yeah, I know.
It's a game show. You guys, it's a game. You're playing chess. Like, and that's why they always say never have all your eggs in one basket. I'm not saying she could have. Like, ideally, in the real world, she could have had this conversation with him when he gave her those cupcakes. She could have said, "Sir, I'm not feeling you like that."
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't because she has to play the game. Thank you, Danny. Thank you.
Yes.
The men have been doing this all season. I'm not Tyrone, you played a decent game, sir. You played a decent game. But I'm saying a lot of men always have 2 or 3 runners up almost till the end.
The thing is, it never ends well when you play the game.
Yeah, but it's a
It
game
never
show,
ends
though.
well.
It's a game show. It's like those are the rules of the game show. The fact that you have to eliminate people and people have to think about whether they want to stay on for exposure or when their interest is gone. Like the people left behind, like other than what's her name, other than Joy and Clifton, why do we have anybody else on the show? Because they're trying to play till the end. So I know Sabrina will bring up mixed feelings in people, but I feel like from past seasons, men have done this with no issue at all. But she's a woman. She's small but mighty. Like, y'all don't play with her. Like, I'm not saying she couldn't have done it a different way, but keep in mind it's a game show. And I feel like maybe it's true. She probably didn't like Tori the way Tori liked her. But at the time Tori gave her the cupcakes, there was nobody else on the horizon. Like, Demetrius didn't step up to like the next episode or 2. So she had to play with him till she found something else. Like, I'm not saying she played with him.
Lola, I want to agree with you on a lot of points and stuff like that. But the fact that she did that same thing with Paul early on, she dismissed Paul
Paul quick.
Early on, lets me know that the rest of the time you could have been done. You could have did that. You could have did that with the rest of the people that you weren't feeling. And the real reason that. And I'm not mad at you playing the game. Play the game. You know, y'all know me. I would have been up here playing the game. But at the same time, my biggest issue with it is just last week you're telling Demetrius, I need to see more from you. I need more from you and all this stuff like that. Or 2 days later, we not it for each other. You didn't give the man no time to show you anything. What the hell? So you don't wait all these
maybe
weeks.
Demetrius didn't show up. You know, this is what she said. Let me tell you, her words were, "I don't think you're that person for me." No, you're not that person. Like, she's literally trying to convince herself.
Layla, you waited all these weeks. These weeks, and then you tell him 2 days before you decide you're gonna tell him he's not your person, that I need more from you. Okay, you knew he wasn't giving you more all these weeks, so why do I need to tell you I need more just to tell you before he walks in there to say anything? You didn't know what the man was gonna say, but he said he was in the men's deliberation, and that's all you heard. And you said, you know what? You're not my person. You're not my one.
But don't we do this as women though? Sometimes when a man doesn't meet up to our expectations, we keep like, okay, maybe this, maybe that. Well, maybe for another couple weeks, and then finally, when we face the truth, it may seem sudden, but we've been playing around with it. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "This is not working. What am I doing? I'm playing here. Like, I don't want this." And then she's like, "I'm gonna bounce." And Demetrius, like, he looks shocked.
Because he was just yesterday. You telling me to step it up?
Nah, it's so confusing. It's so confusing. Like, I don't know how y'all feel about Demetrius, but when it comes to like looking at the women, I saw some instability in Sabrina from the get, right? And when it comes to Demetrius and being a dude, I saw some clear signs from Demetrius that I don't know how they didn't see it, right? Not saying anything bad, but to me it was clear, right?
Yeah.
So it was like they both were doing the whole DC dating thing where you need to show me something before I show you something. But then I also feel like, especially in this episode, that there was a lot of underlying knowledge that they knew about each other. And it finally came out and was made aware to everyone. And I also feel like the retreat was probably the last straw for her. Like, if you're not showing me nothing by now, I've seen all I need to see.
Yes.
And you wake up. Oh, sorry, Tyrone. Go ahead.
And therefore, like, there's really nothing else to do or nothing else to say right now. But if we're going to keep it classy, we can keep it classy. If not, you're going to say some shit about me, I'm going to say some shit about you.
Yeah, that I didn't like.
Right there, I'm gonna hold that thought right there, Tyrone. See, go ahead, because you said something, and I'm gonna address that what you said. But see, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I think Sabrina.
And I'm gonna address that.
I think Sabrina is probably one of the most diabolical characters we have had on this show. And Lola, I respect your opinion always, and I love the different, the difference of opinion. But she is straight diabolical. Like, she is an assassin with it, and a part of me loves that she's an assassin standing at 5 foot,
Yes.
5'1", 5'2". She's an assassin, but I'm not gonna say she not though. That's the thing. I can't. She is serving something that we haven't seen from a woman.
Yes.
And
yes.
I think because unlike I would say with Kyra, where she was more obvious with it, Sabrina was moving like a snake in the grass. Like, I don't really feel like people saw it coming. And let me tell you how much she snaked Demetrius that I end up feeling bad for him. And I ain't like that him. I didn't like him the entire season. I'm like, how did I end up feeling bad for Demetrius? What has happened in this episode?
Tell us.
I mean, I agree with Tyrone. Like, they were, again, everyone's playing Candace Mas Macho all season. It's not just Sabrina. It's Demetrius. It's what's his face? The other one we're gonna get to. What is his name? Donovan. All of
Clifton
them
was doing it too.
Clifton, they're all playing that game. I just feel like Sabrina made it. I feel like at the end though, Sabrina didn't want any of them, and they were okay with at least giving it a fake college try. She's like, I'm not even gonna try with y'all, and I feel like that's what kind of, hurt them the most. But she's different. She's different. I hope this is just a game to her, because she plays these games in real life. She's gonna end up playing herself, because this is no way to interact in the dating world. I mean, it worked for Ready to Love and Screen Time, I guess, but like in real life, if she plays these, Jedi mind tricks and moving around and playing with semantics, that's not going to work in real life.
True.
So
true.
She different
though. At any point, did y'all feel like Demetrius really, really likes Sabrina, and Demetrius is really, really trying to make it work with Sabrina?
No.
Did y'all feel that at any point?
Pride. No,
she wouldn't be asking for affection.
And even when it was, even when it was over, did he even feel like he was even remotely bothered by it?
He looked like you kicked me off the game without my.
He was annoyed.
He was just like,
he's annoyed. Yeah,
he's like, all right, I'll be all right.
But no, the brother said we going off together, but not together. He was bothered. He's just a
because he knew who he didn't have nobody else. He didn't
have a backup. Would have gone to his backup, right? He didn't have he didn't play well. Like, I don't know. He played around a little bit with Tina, and Tina was gone. So he really only stepped to Sabrina. Like, how most of them played the game a little weak. Let's be clear. This is a game. This is a game. We know this is a game. Like, it's not about love.
Regardless if it's a game or whatever and stuff, I'm not about to play with my heart. So from Demetrius' perspective, as a person that observes the scene or whatever, and if I'm watching how you move with other people and you act a certain way with other people, I'm not going to go full in for you, especially if you're not giving me. I'm gonna match whatever energy you're giving me. And that's what I've seen. I don't think he did not like her because he wasn't going after anybody else. I think that was what he liked or whatever. He liked qualities about her, but I just don't see him. And I respected that, just like I respected her saying, I need more from you, but you got to give the person that same amount that you want them to give you. When you want to be equal, because that's where she's standing on everything in her life as far as everything else. I'm not going to change my last name. I'm not going to I'm not going to lose myself. I'm not going to do this. So you're asking for equal. So that means you need to match whatever energy you want them to give. If you're going to give me 100, I'll give you 100. And I'm not going to say that either one of them are right for standing their ground and saying, I'm waiting for you to give me that 100 first or whatever, because now neither one of them are going home with each other. But at the same time, you got options. I don't. So why do I sit in here and need to give you my whole 100? You are getting my whole 50. That's what you're getting, because your other 50 is still out there with everybody else. I'm gonna match whatever you bring it to my table.
Well, how'd that work out for him?
Yeah. How did it work out for her?
How'd that work out?
But how did it work out for Sabrina? Because she's still solo. And guess what? You know what? I look at the odds, right? So 3 different guys, and all of them had issues. she chopped away and chipped away at each and every one of those dudes. Not near one of them could she even try to see like, okay, we could try to make it work, right? She played a little interest in the beginning, but every single one of them, she found a way to blast away at them, right? Whether it was Donovan and his timeline, that didn't work for her. Demetrius was not enough, showing her enough effort. And then in the end, it just didn't work, and his traditional values didn't align with hers, right? Then she chipped away at Tori. Tori was enamored with her from out the gate, but he was too much and didn't give her enough room to breathe, right? So no, where is the perfect man for Sabrina, right? And you know what's a red flag for me? For anybody that's been divorced, if you start talking about what you did in your first marriage, that's when I'm red flag. I'm done, right? You can change your name, not change your name, not want to change your name. Oh, well, I didn't do it in my first marriage. Your first marriage is over, boo. It's over, right? So you got divorced for a reason. So that shouldn't be the meter by which you're measuring your next relationship, right? So you're starting afresh, you're moving forward, right? So when she started that and trying to defend as to why she wants to hold on to her name, that showed me she don't really want anybody. She's giving everybody a reason out because she's scared. And from what I saw from her is she was getting ahead of it. You know, David, we can thank him from seasons past. She was getting ahead of the enemy. So she was like, before you either one, make me uncomfortable or do something I don't want to do, or before you reject me, I'm rejecting you. And she did it with each and every guy. She found a way to chip at him. She gave Paul the friend speech. She's really good at it. And I praised her in the very beginning. When I saw her, I was like, oh, she's so delicate. She's so gentle. She handled that conversation so well, so respectfully. But then after I watch her do it time and time again to different guys for different reasons, I'm like, nah, this is her MO. She don't really want a relationship. She want to look at everybody else, right? But what has Sabrina done to work on herself to be a good partner? Because I don't hear that. I hear, well, our goals don't line up to where we would be together. My default doesn't match your default. What? Like what? Relationships are evolving. People evolve. People change. So if somebody is telling you, hey, listen, this is something I want to do, but I would be interested in looking at it a different way, that's what life is about. That's what makes relationships work. I bring something different to the table and something you might not have wanted to do, but you hear it from me and you're like, oh, I'll consider that, and vice versa. But to just kick people off without even really fully investing yourself in them, then I got to look at you.
I said she's one of the main ones who's not ready to love. She's one of the main ones. It was always going to be something. Tori, she said, when met with the competition, Tori fell short. So I was like, and it's so funny, Seaway said this about Kyra, because I was like, oh, she's giving me Kyra vibes. She's giving me Kyra vibes. Not exactly, but I said, this is Kyra. She's got all of these people that are interested in her. Now she's like, oh, like she's like a kid in a candy store. Now she's like, how am I going to move? How am I going to maneuver? So she was like, oh, what can I find that he doesn't, that is sticking in my craw with him? Oh, it's the fact that his friend said submissive. I'm just going to pick away at that. I'm going to figure that out. And then Donovan, oh, I'm just going to sneak something in on Donovan. And so now, and her conversation with Donovan, so why did you want to meet? Like, I was like, girl. And I will say, Lola, I do agree that she's small and mighty. Like Seaway said, I said, oh, she's good. She's small but mighty. I will give her that. But I do think that I said, sis, come on. Every single guy, you want Dimitri to do what you didn't like Tori doing. Tori was all in on you. Tori was, he was paying attention. He was bringing you gifts. Whether you did or didn't like the cupcakes, he was showing that attention. And everybody else saw it too. Everybody was like, just go ahead and go to Tori. And then you moved to Dimitri, and everybody was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So now everybody sees that you're interested in Dimitri. Now you're interested in Dimitri, but you're like, Dimitri and I are too much alike. We both like to play coy. I want him to be all in on me. That's the same thing you didn't like about Tori. So I just think she doesn't know what she wants. and she wants to play this game. And that's exactly what I said. She is playing this game.
Listen,
So
she's fresh off divorce and she wants to know if she still got it. And that's
And
what
how
she's
fresh
out
is
here
she?
doing.
I said she's not ready since her divorce.
How
She's
long ago
still
did she
dealing
get
with her
divorced?
divorce.
How long
Sorry.
ago did she get divorced?
5 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't seem that bad to me. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like what Sabrina, like, because I was listening to what she was saying, and
Yeah.
it was all making sense
It made sense
to
to me
me.
too.
To what she
I like
was
the way she
saying was
played.
making sense.
It can make
Like,
sense. It can make sense, and it did. And I hate to cut you off.
Mhm.
Don't mean to cut you off.
Mhm.
Tyrone,
You
but
cut us off. We have an issue with that. Okay, no, continue.
I will cut you all off. No, just playing.
Some things made sense. Some
Okay.
things
My last name.
off the
No, my
ground.
last name.
Yeah, I don't.
Really
No, I
busting
mean,
like
it makes
fire.
Makes sense.
It makes
Like-
sense because what it is I can make sense to you to justify my reasons on why I don't want you. I can make sense to the whole world to make myself look good as to why you're the bad guy and why I shouldn't choose you when I want to or whatnot. And that makes it easier for me not to look at myself and say, what am I doing wrong? Why am I finding fault with all these people on little things when I'm supposed to be looking for love? You've been married, so you know that you're going to deal with a whole lot when you're coming to a whole long-term partner or whatnot. And I'm not saying that you have to sacrifice your biggest deal breakers on these things, but half of these things weren't even big deal breakers. Okay, like you had to talk with Demetrius over the submission thing. He sat there and thought you guys were cool with it and moving forward from it. That's how he got blindsided. Really, it's like, wait, I thought we had this whole talk, and now you're still bringing it up. Like there's still a problem with that. Okay, you don't want to change your last name. That's something we can work out later on. We can both create a whole new last name for our family if we want to. That's what we can do. That's how this world is set up. Like that's something still simple. You're
Did you
telling
say
this
that,
other
though?
person they're fresh out of their relationship, so you don't think they're ready to commit. Are you ready to commit? Because to me, everything that she was saying to everybody was projecting. You didn't want Tori because he was pursuing you too much, but he wouldn't fight enough for you.
She didn't
When
want
met
Tori,
with competition.
period. She didn't
Like-
want him. Come on, like Stevie Wonder knew she
She
didn't
didn't
want
want.
him. Tori
She didn't
know
want.
that.
She didn't want Demetrius either, or whatever. Because after the end of it,
Demetrius, she
as soon
actually
as
kind
Donovan
of
chose,
hated
as soon as Donovan chose, you went to Demetrius and told him, "I don't. You're not my one."
Yeah, I was surprised. That's what I'm saying. For me, that was one of the most shocking scenes I've had on Ready to Love because I felt between Donovan and Demetrius, I felt she preferred Donovan, but was scared because she felt he wouldn't be able to commit because he's fresh out of divorce. Now, she figured she would stay with Demetrius because she did like him in the beginning. So the fact when she said, like, you're not my people, I just had to give her a clap. Like, guys be doing this all the time. Like, why y'all all hurt? Like,
We
I'm
both
okay
fresh
with
out
it.
of a divorce, though. So why do I have to? Why are we both fighting to commit? We're fighting to just figure out if we're going to work out a little bit longer. Let's work this out. Let's see how this goes or whatever. Are you trying to jump back into a marriage? Is that what she's trying to do? It doesn't even seem like she's trying to do that.
Trying to have children. I don't know how old she is. Maybe she wants to have, a bunch of children, and settle down. I don't know. I can't speak for her, but I didn't have to be honest. I'm going to be really honest with y'all. The problems I had with her were the silly things, like her aversion to the word submission. Like we're too old to be playing around with submission. This last name thing, you're not Hispanic, so we don't join names. Like what? Like you're making it sound like it's weird for you to take a man's name. That's not new. Your mother probably took your father's name. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know her. So the weird things I had issues with, like, what does that mean? But in terms of the way she played the game, I hear y'all, but I don't have a problem with it. I'm sorry.
And again, I don't have a problem with it. But here's the thing with this. When you want to sit here and play, oh, I'm playing like a man, your feelings are still female. Your feelings are still of a woman.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you still are going to do things as a woman. You're not going to play a man's game like a man because that is a man's game. That is not a woman's game. Okay, we don't see women in the NBA. That's just not going to happen. Now they could play with it against them all the time and all this stuff like that, but it's just not going to be it. So don't play a man's game and think that you're going to win the prize at the end because it's just not designed for you. You got to play a woman's game in the men's league. That's what you got to do.
I'm sorry. Somebody distracted me. Someone in the comments said, T Young said, I wanted to knock that candle out of her hand when she gave it to T.
I think we all did. You try to give. Girl, stop playing.
That was a re-gift. I'm telling you, that was a re-gift for sure.
Clearly.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I can I guess maybe it's just something about the way she was answering that question. Like, I'm not completely, depending on where a woman is in her career and what the reasons are for not wanting to change your name, it could be a conversation and something we discuss and, whatever. But to me, it was more about why she didn't want to do it. And I think she's in that Jada camp, she's in that anti-patriarchy. When we start talking with those talking points, to me, it's like you're going to be not easy to be in relationship with. You know what I mean? Like, beautiful woman, but I feel like she might have some challenges to be in a relationship because she wants things to be a very particular way. And why does a woman have to change her name? So she wants to redo the whole system, and we could have our own version of a marriage and what that means. Yeah, no, I'm good on that.
Yeah,
We can keep it.
It came off as that her feeling a little way because he wasn't even willing to at least have the conversation with her about changing the name. Like, he was set in his ways and that was that, right? So I could see why she had a little bit of pushback at the fact that, like, I can't even talk about what I would like. It's your way or the highway. So yeah, I'm going to keep, fighting for what I like and for what I would want. You got to at least have this conversation with me, because you're not going to have a conversation about this, then it's going to be your way or the highway for many other things in our relationship.
I think this was her being diabolical again. I think she was literally just looking for an out. Like, you have to peep game. She don't really
True.
care about this
Could be
name.
that too.
She
Yeah.
is looking for a reason. She was picking anything that she think would be controversial, and then she waited for his response, and then then that's what she hung her hat on. She needed to hang her hat on something, so she just picked the name thing. I honestly don't even feel like she gives a F for real, for real. I really feel like it's just literally something that she's finding. Because personally, I was like, because I'm a person, I haven't changed my name yet. I'm not sure when I will. I got my bar license with my name on it, and that's just where it's at right now. So I normally would be agreeing with her, but the spirit of it didn't feel right. It felt like she was on bullcrap. And I'm like, yet again.
I agree.
Like, he didn't even say hard no. He's like, okay, I really feel like that's normally you should take the name, but we could talk about that. Like, it's, it's really not the end of the world. It was her reasoning behind it. Like, there's a lot of people who don't change their name, but they have reasoning. Sometimes it's just, it does too much legally, or they really like their last name,
Or they just want to keep on their family legacy because there ain't no more males in their family.
Maybe they're the only girl. Maybe they're the only, there's only been all girls. Exactly. There's a lot of reasons why people would kind of have that conversation about keeping their last name. But her reasoning was just like, let me just say something that sounds as feminist as possible and see how he reacts. And if he doesn't react perfectly, that's why you're not ready to love. That's literally all she was doing.
I agree. I think that she was just trying to find something. And also, he wasn't digging his heels in. He was like, that's a conversation we can talk about. I don't know why we keep bringing this up. I don't know what your trepidatious is. Because, and I actually was kind of surprised because I was like, okay, not Donovan, Dimitri is giving her what she wants, or is putting his efforts in, and now she's pulling back. And I was like, oh, you don't. I think none of these guys, she's not ready. She's still dealing with her ex, or whatever feeling she's dealing with the ex. And 3 guys, and then Paul, I'm not surprised. They're not a good fit anyway, but all 3, 3 different type of guys, she found something wrong, some way to maneuver out of all 3.
I would say though that I think that it fits who she is, right? Because if you remember when she went, when they met, I think it was either her ex-boyfriend or whomever that guy was, and he was like, no, in her line of work, she is in, advocacy and social justice, and she is used to being the one to help people and, be in a position of power, and that lines right up with the things that she's saying. Right. So that is that independence. And, I don't need to change my last name, and I don't need to, it needs to be 50-50. And I think that 50-50 goes away when you really start to boil down what you mean by 50-50, right? Because there is no such thing as 50-50 in a relationship, right? Because for the woman, when you're giving birth, I'm not 50-50 in that with you. It's 100-0. I'm just supporting and rubbing your back, right? So it's all you. Certain times, depending on the financial situation, if the man is pulling his weight in a different capacity, there's no 50-50. Right. And so I think people just get stuck to that notion of that. And I want a partnership because it sounds good across social media. But when you are running a relationship, it needs to be, let's do what's for the greater good and the best of each of us. And let me hear you out. And Tyrone, I just would end in saying she was not open either. She was not open to hear his opinion on why he would want her to change, her last name. Right. If we have kids together, that's a big thing. Like, I would feel a type of way if my kid's mother, the mother of my children, has a different name. I would feel some particular way about that. So again, that is an issue for me. So I would want us to be able to talk through that, right? What are the alternatives? But she was shooting it down with, nope, well, I didn't do it in my first marriage. You know what I'm saying? So all of these reasons, I don't think she's flexible. I haven't seen flexibility from her at all. So if we remove the competition element, how have we seen the evolution of Sabrina, right? How have we seen feedback that somebody's given her and she's done different? No, she's been very, very standoffish. Donovan had some very pointed words to say about their interaction. She denied, right? Tori felt put off by her. She dismissed. And now here we are with Demetrius. And I'm not saying he was perfect in the relationship, but I don't see the ebb and flow with her. I don't see any flexibility. I don't see it.
She got them boundaries up, keeping her in and everybody out. So she's protecting herself from the world, I guess, and from love. Okay. I'm trying to tell you, you cannot go through this process of finding love. And I'm not talking about the show itself. I'm just really talking about the process of finding love. And you keep putting walls up and you're nitpicking at every little thing. You're not going to find a perfect person, period. They do not exist. If you think they do, you're absolutely wrong. And I am sorry to tell you that, but there's no perfect person in this world. You can find the perfect person for you, but that still requires you to take a chance, take a risk. And I just don't see that in Sabrina of really being ready to take a risk again. I think whatever has occurred in whatever past relationship, and I'm not saying the marriage, it could be even deeper than that. Whatever past relationship she has not healed from it. And she's carrying this over, and it spilled off to each of these men right now. And if she doesn't start to heal from it, it's going to continue down the road, and she's not going to find that love that she really does want. It's out there for her. She can have it, but she's going to have to start breaking down them walls that she built to keep the hurt from coming in. You got to take that risk. I'm sorry.
She didn't come for love. The show's not about love. She came to play some chess. Y'all get into your feelings and your emotions.
This is not ready to play chess, game. Lola.
Chess game, yo. Like, she had business coming out, something to do. Like, this is like, look, Tyrone, this is true. I'm not lying to you. Like, it's the truth. Like, I just love the way she played it. Like, the things I didn't agree with, this is clear. She wasn't one of my favorite players. She caught my attention when she started misbehaving, and I liked it. That's the truth. Like, the only thing that caught me by surprise, I thought she was going to take Demetrius to the finish line. When she talked about, I don't think you're my peoples. Yeah, you're not my peoples. I was shocked. My heart was beating, so I know his heart was beating. Like, we were both shocked. Like, what? We went through all of this? Because like you said, rightfully so, at that last scene at the bar, he didn't argue with her about the last name. He didn't argue. He said, I never said I want. Like, he's kind of answering all her things and saying this. But she just, she knows why she's playing the way she's playing. And so be it. It made the season interesting because the rest of it was a drag.
I'm just gonna stay with Sean on this, and she was doing the pulling of David, and she was trying to jump ahead of the the enemy real quick. All she heard is him say is that me and the men got together. She didn't know where he was going with that, and she automatically did a cutoff, which she didn't want Donovan to do, but cut him off. And told him, you're not my one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at her for saying you're not my one, because if your one is just not there, it's not there. I can't be mad at that part. but she was really trying to do herself and take control of the situation, and that's her biggest problem. She wants all of every situation there is.
So you all
And
think she was trying to pull a Joy, like when Joy did it to Demetrius? Is that what, like she just tried to overcome him?
no,
Remember that when Demetrius brought her, and when Joy was in the final two, and she thought that she was going to get sent home, and then Joy, like, she came for his neck, chopped him up, and then he's like, "No, I wasn't trying to send you home." That's what you think they were trying to do?
So yeah, I felt like Joy,
she's trying
like
to jump
me.
ahead of it.
So me being a guy, like I was harder on the guys on the
Okay.
show than the women.
Okay.
And when I'm seeing Demetrius and I'm seeing Demetrius's interactions and his conversations, it's like I've seen that dude before, right? And it doesn't end well most of the time. And it even got to a point, since you were talking about Joy, that Joy even called him out and was like, "Do you even like anyone?"
Yeah,
here?
she said, "What you
Like,
here for?
really?
You're
Like,
not
do
here
you
for the right
really
reasons."
like anyone here? Like, come on.
Because most of the ladies liked him, but he didn't bite until
And
the
I
third or the
know
fourth episode.
that when a dude likes a guy, you likes a woman, you don't have to second guess it.
Mm.
And I didn't see any of that from him.
He's that wait and see type of guy. He wants a woman to be all in before he even makes a couple of steps forward. That's
I
what
don't
you
want that.
Well, he's used to women throwing themselves at him, so it is what it is.
Or I think, like, as I've watched him in the process, because I remember when he was in that bus just watching the bushes pass by when they were going on that tour.
Exactly.
I was like, this guy's gonna really have to step it up in this kind of process. I think he just may be a fish out of water, you know? And I think he's just not used to dealing with, and everybody can't handle, you know, and Tyrone, you could speak to that, or, you know, attest to what that looks or feels like. But being in a space where you're actively dating multiple people and you're seeing them dating other people at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So some people, like, I know me, that's why I couldn't exist in this kind of
Precisely.
show, is because it would make me pull back, because I wouldn't put myself out there. Because if I see you got XYZ going on with this person, and it seems like it's going in a direction that could be, you know, similar to what we have, I'm just going to question it, right?
True. I totally get it. It was, to me, what I was seeing was kind of an ego thing. It even came up with Donovan. I felt like once they had the Truth or Dare game, Demetrius felt like he was in there. He really had to do much more work after that. Then he saw her date, and he's hearing other dudes talking about the connections that they have with her in the deliberations. Even Donovan even mentioned something about things that you should or shouldn't do in someone else's presence. Right? So I don't really know the meaning behind all that, but I just feel like a lot of people weren't okay with people going through their process. And some people go through the process, and some people really, really, really go through the process. And when I'm hearing what she was saying, she was basically saying, like, hey, I'm here, I'm dating. You have to understand that I'm dating. Like when she was talking to Tori when they had their date, and she was like, just focus on us. Yes, it may have sounded a little pimpish, but that's just her really, really going through her process.
I agree with the trepidation. Like Demetrius is a type of a guy that just seems like he's kind of reserved and pulled back. Like Tyrone, you said, you know, this is a lot. It's a lot. You're pushed into this atmosphere that you're not familiar with. I will give him that on that bus trip. But then after that kiss or that nibble on the ear, he should have been able to relax and, you know, be a little bit more in. Sometimes when you, especially in the beginning, yes. But then after a while, I just thought he would have relaxed more and just, you know, put his efforts in. And it's almost like she felt like she was, I don't know what she felt, but it seemed like she felt like she was trying to convince him that I'm here. Like
She said it.
Like
she said it. She said, I need you to do that here.
Yes.
And he was saying, I'm going to do that, you know, once we get out into the real world. I'm going to be a totally different person. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You know, if you can't show your love and affection for someone that you want here, you're not going to do it out in public.
Listen.
All right.
Listen, I understand y'all in the chat. Y'all haven't been with us on this particular channel all these weeks and stuff like that. But Demetrius got his smoke all in the beginning of the season when he was not moving and he was sitting in looking out windows on the tour where he wasn't even paying attention to the tour guide. So I don't know how y'all feeling. Talking about we not keeping balance. We are talking about what happened on last night's episode, and last night was a lot of Sabrina. So that's why y'all guys are still getting a lot of Sabrina. We already said that Demetrius should have showed up and showed her more or whatnot. But to be honest with you, I think it would have been the same outcome if he had showed up and showed her more, because look at where Tori stood or whatever. And, you know, we get on Donovan right now as we transition to it, but it was the same with Donovan was showing her attention, and he went and showed a whole nother man attention when y'all got to the retreat. So what did you want? What do you want? Like,
yeah, that's the point of the retreat.
Donovan, she was Donovan's number one prior.
But that's the point of the retreat, ain't it? It's the point of the retreat to really finally get to know everyone and then choose. Like you
but I didn't really see her getting to know anybody at the retreat
because no one was putting in no work. She had to literally beg for Demetrius to give her something during the retreat.
And then they had to
but then you begged for Demetrius to give you something, and then when you got into a hot tub, and well, even in that begging,
because he wasn't giving her nothing.
But even in that begging for it, he says, "I will kiss you right now" and stuff, and you was like, "Oh no, on the cheek." Like, what?
I don't know you like that. Why should he kiss her?
Yeah, I feel like that's just kind of what he does because
Lola, what you talking about? They was all on top of each other like a cheap suit in that thing.
Nibbled on the ear. You went and nibbled on this man's ear.
At this point,
now. I feel like that's what he does because even Tina says he ain't even talk to me.
Now we ain't gonna take Tina's word about nothing. I don't want to know what Tina thinks the time of day is.
Yeah, we ain't gonna take Tina's word. We'll see Demetrius ain't talked to nobody the whole season except for Laverne. Okay, that's the only person we see.
Tina turn around calling everybody toxic, her ex toxic, and meanwhile she's the most toxic.
No, I won't call Tina toxic. I just say that she ran out of steam and she was done. That's it. Like, you can't say someone's toxic for running out of steam.
No. It's not running out of steam. The toxicity is you got car trouble, but meanwhile you're saying I don't know what to do with this process.
The producers made her come. She didn't want to show up. The producers
but
made her
she
come.
Ghosted people, Lola. That's the toxicity. She even ghosted Tommy.
You realize from the time she started ghosting people, that's when we stopped seeing her. She wanted to I don't know what stopped her from self-eliminating when she wanted to. Because by the time when she showed up for Donovan, nobody was home. She was half them, half not. So for whatever reason, whatever was going on with her, it got to a point where she probably didn't want to juggle work, a child, and filming. But for some reason, she didn't step down and say, I'm done. She kept dragging one foot in, one foot out.
And that is toxic.
I just want to say she was tired, but didn't speak up for herself and say, I'm done. So
everyone else did
stand up, nephew Tommy. done.
I hear that, Lola, but
everyone
that's toxic, right? Your intentions may have not been to hurt people or mislead people, but when that was the outcome, that is toxic, right? When we do it, right? When we are not honest with women about what we want and we mislead them or we make them think one thing is another, it's toxic.
That's what I'm saying.
Can we meet in the middle? I want to meet down the middle. What she was is immature. To me, that's where I kind of land. I think she is somewhere in between tired and toxic. I'm gonna give her immature because honestly, she could have handled that whole situation better.
She definitely
and
could.
I'm pretty sure handling a young child and being on a show with people who really ain't giving nothing no way probably wasn't worth it. But not responding, and I can tell you, I see this a lot with the millennials and the Gen Zs are even worse than we are. Like we will just literally avoid, and I don't do this, but I noticed it with other people. They will avoid conversations because they don't want to have them. Yep. That's like a new generation thing. Like instead of doing what we used to do back in the day, like you had to pick up the phone and call people. Now, if you don't want to deal with the issue, we just go ghost. We don't answer people. It could be supervisors. It could be parents. It could be Tommy. Okay. That's just a very immature new gen way to do things. And I feel like that's what that was, because I don't mind her dropping off, but she just looked crazy. And then when she got on Kojo's channel, she looked an absolute fool.
Yes,
So
and that's where I'm gonna double down on the toxicity, right?
Tell me about
because
that.
she was talking about, the BGS, whatever they call themselves. I don't know, whatever.
What'd she say?
That clique that wasn't about nothing from the last season. She was defending their behavior.
Okay,
and
now
I got
the word. You can use that against her. I'm cool with that. Like that.
And I got the word toxic from Tina, by the way, because when she was describing her relationship with her ex and why it ended, she called him toxic. And then when we met her most previous ex, who she signed up to come on the show, he talked about her behavior as being toxic. Right. So and how she's breaking up things and throwing phones and carrying on. So I find it very ironic when people are comfortable talking about other people and calling them names, but then when they show the same behavior, right? Because I'm sorry, if you're in a dating show and you are no longer able to be in that dating show, you owe it to the people that you are engaged in relationships with to let them know you're no longer interested. You don't drag them along. Paul, he dragged along. Donovan spent half his dates trying to text and figure out where Tina was.
And it does a disservice to a woman who could have been there.
There you go.
Also,
I mean, half the cast had kids.
And you manifested this and whatnot. This is what you said out your mouth. You manifested going on to this show. Now, granted, you might not want it to be a curveball when you wanted it, but you wanted to go on this show. So see your project through. This is what you wanted.
That's what she said on Kojo's show.
That's what she said on Kojo thing. This is what she wanted to do. So just to drop the process like you did. And I understand you might have some things going on in life, but how hard is it to say, hey, I got things going on. I cannot continue this right now. I have to move myself. I am so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To me, it's about the exit and then how you show yourself afterwards, right? Your interviews are your times to, to show your true self in a way that you can explain it without having to overly explain yourself, right? You're not trying to prove anything to anyone, but you're just explaining yourself. And it didn't come off really well. I didn't see much accountability at all. I think that was the word I was looking for.
I don't have that kind of time. I didn't watch it, but I'll take your word for it. But like, you're just going to
I just saw a little bit
busy.
of it.
I'm busy too. Sometimes I don't show up, but I'll send a text or an email. Like she sent an email with some soft music. Yeah. But hey.
The email with some soft music.
What kind of mind game is
that? Lola got a whole score playing in the background.
I don't want that.
Like she just playing music in the background.
I'm just saying.
I agree with the immaturity though.
She was done.
Yeah, 112 is over now. 112 is over now in the background.
Yo, that would be the track. I didn't watch her interview, so I don't have any feelings about her because, like you said, Tyrone, the interviews really give us some perspective as to who the person is. Like, I knew there was an interview, but I forgot who did it, so I didn't know how to find it. But now I might go have a look.
I didn't see enough to get like a true explanation. I didn't see enough to be able to
because I know I can't
her or
judge
see her explanations
because the show is edited crazy. Producers make them do a lot of things, so I'll give her that. But hey, this season was a wash. Like, let's keep it real. Like, let's let it where it is. So we're using scraps to make up our little what we talk about here.
Absolutely agree. This season was just a wash.
I normally gauge it by the amount of explanation they feel they need to do afterwards.
Gotcha. I hear you.
There was a lot of explanation.
And I just want to clarify, right? Like I'm not in the business of telling her who she should choose, right? And this is in reference to Sabrina. She don't gotta choose anybody, right? But for me, the way you go about it as a viewer watching the show and seeing how you navigate the process gives me insight into how you navigate your dating life and how you go about doing that. And the way she chipped away at all those guys just is how I formulated my opinion. Now, listen, I don't know her from a can of paint. I'm just watching what I see. There's always room for me to be wrong about my assessment. So I just want to be clear on that. Like, I know.
Let's do it like this. Had it been a man, okay, let's do Demetrius, because since Demetrius and Sabrina are so much alike, had Demetrius chipped away at all of his prospects and found something wrong with each one of them, would y'all have that same and just be like, oh no, he's okay, he don't have no smoke or whatever, he's okay, he's just his process, or would it been bang bang?
It depends on what he said.
Yeah, if it was justifiable, I would agree with him.
It depends on what he said, because I don't think they're checking people anymore. They're just signing people up and putting them on camera.
Okay, so if he goes to Sabrina and said, I don't think you're ready because you were just out of your relationship or whatever, he goes to Dakia,
right, because she's 5 months fresh, right?
He go to Dakia and say, you know what, you're just not fighting enough for me. He go to Carmen.
But he's a man.
He say,
no.
But he a man.
A man should fight for a woman. A woman shouldn't be fighting for a man. That's how I believe, though. I don't think, I think that's the issue. Women should not be fighting for a man. I feel it's a man's place to fight for my affection. I'm sorry, man. If you don't agree with me, too bad. That's okay.
So okay. That's when it's okay to be traditional. But God forbid we ask you to take our last name, right?
I've been consistent.
I would take on
I had an issue with submission. I had an issue with the name, and I'm consistent with that. Like, go check my record. Do the playback. Like, playback, right?
How long Oprah been married?
Hold on, let us run it back.
How long was I married?
How many times J-Lo been married?
Is she traditional?
She's still J-Lo. She's still Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, but she's not traditional now.
But are we using J-Lo as the bar?
No.
Monkey bars from relationship to relationship.
I just don't think it's a big deal as they're making it. It could be like an ego thing. Like it's not gonna not make you my wife. It's not gonna not make you my kid's mom. You just decided to keep your name. My kids will still have my name.
It's the kids will have your name, but it just comes to a controversy when you start going to different things, when you get to school and all this stuff like that. Go to the airport. There was a mother that had an issue with that whole thing with her kid, going through the airport because they don't have the same last name. So it starts to get tick for tat.
Okay, mind you, I'm a little bit biased because my daughter's mom remarried and wanted to change my daughter's last name. So I'm a little bit biased by that. So the mom and the daughter having two different last names changes nothing. Sorry.
God bless you, Tyrone. I'm
Sorry.
with you, sir. But it's I agree. So there's an understanding. There's a conversation. Mm-hmm. But my issue with Sabrina isn't the issue y'all are having. There are other things. But like we said, I don't have a problem with her saying to a guy, I don't think you're fighting hard enough for my affection. Maybe she felt if he did that, maybe she might have some feelings for him. But I know that she didn't really like Tyrone didn't like Tori to begin with. That's the truth. And maybe she felt if he was a little more forthcoming, maybe she might get some. I don't know, but I'm okay with the reason she gave the guys. I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not losing sleep over. Like, it's okay. Like, it does look like consistently she turned people down. But men do that. Men do the same thing. It just happens to be a camera following her. I'm okay with it.
I was gonna say
turning women down.
I was gonna say something bad.
What were you gonna say, Tyrone?
I'm not about to have them following me around for some weeks before I turn their ass down, though. They getting turned down. Like, baby, no, I'm not interested. It's okay.
I was gonna say something bad.
What you want to say, Tyrone?
I was gonna say once Donovan came on the scene, Tori became
went down.
Girlfriend.
Absolutely.
But facts, no, bro, facts though.
That's
like water. Well, there's water and there's tea and there's orange. Like there's different levels. They're levels.
Mm-hmm. But she had a problem with each level, though.
Nobody reached her level yet. Like,
my question is there anyone that could reach Sabrina's level?
No, not in this arena at all.
Maybe not on the show.
Not right now. She's still dealing with whatever issues she's got in the past. She's not ready.
She's busy telling people they haven't dealt with their issues. So I don't think she's aware or feeling like she hasn't dealt with the issues that she has from her past. She hasn't let us know that.
She hasn't.
And I look at how many different heated exchanges are you going to have with different people. So we can write off Laverne, right? Because, we thought Laverne, was Laverning, right? But here we saw another tense issue with Donovan. So I guess Donovan is Donovaning, right? So he going to be emotional. right? So how many like you got to look at the common denominator at a certain point, and I think that's where we're having this heated exchange of who's on first, right? And it's because when I look at it, if I know I'm the common denominator in a lot of situations, then I got to step back and look at me. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes, there may be some opportunities for those people, but I don't think that it's swung 100%, them and 0% me. There's some accountability. We can't just say Sabrina's doing it all right and she's just learned how to play the game like the guys.
Nobody would say that. That's why she's
right. So
self-eliminated.
that's what I'm pushing
she
for. It's the room to see what's the opportunity for Sabrina to do some things differently, because perception from what I'm seeing is she can be a bit combative, because she's had some bad interactions with a couple of different guys, and she's also felt real comfortable with clipping away at the guys and telling them what their issues are. And then the minute somebody says, well, you did this to me, it's a deflection. It's a like, whoa, step back. Don't get so upset. Don't get all up in your feelings.
You're being a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
No. So that's why she self-eliminated, because she knew that she had some issues.
She had to get in front of the enemy.
So when she comes to the reunion, she's going to put everything together for y'all to make y'all satisfied.
She had to get in front of the enemy, Lola. Okay, we got to get ahead of them. Okay, that's what she had to do. Okay,
I can't say this enough.
She just did it in a more polite way than David.
I don't think she was right. I'm not saying she was right, but I can't disagree with how she played. Like, I'm just so okay with it. Like, there's something wrong with all of us, but I just, I'm so okay with how she played everything. The thing with Laverne had nothing to do with them. It was, he figured something else was going on. So we know that wasn't really, but the thing that happened is she doesn't back down. What she wasn't going to do is sit pretty and let someone talk to her crazy. So she matched his steam. But so we know that she's not scared of a confrontation, and that's okay too.
But see, the thing with Laverne wasn't so much about what the other thing is, that it's that control thing with her. I think she just really has a thing with having to stay in control, and that derives from a fear of something else, of not being in control, not having your way, not having your say and stuff like that. And that's what she has to work on as in the future. This is just being like a real genuine tip. You have to work on that control part of it, because everything in life you can't control. You will stress yourself and cause yourself a heart attack trying to control everything in life. With Laverne, you were trying to control that situation to dismiss him the way you wanted to dismiss him. And then when he did what you did to Demetrius, you had a problem with it and went off. You went completely off. In this case, you had no clue what Demetrius was about to say to you, because Demetrius sounded like he was willing to try to continue to work this through.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. And go to and try to work it to the end. You had no clue what he was about to say, but instead you jumped in front of it and was like, you know what? You're not my person. I'm going to take myself off of this process or whatever and stuff. You want this control, this need for control. And it's just nothing against it. But to have a partnership, you have to relinquish some of it. You can't be in full control unless you just want a docile partner. You have to have balance in that. In everything in life, you have to have some balance. And you got to give a little bit. And that's all I'm saying as far as Sabrina's concerned. It's the same way with Demetrius. Demetrius wants full control over what he wants full control over. But then you start to see him at this very end start to say, you know what? I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to do some of these things, work on it. And see that we didn't get that from Sabrina. And that's why we're having this whole debate back and forth, is because we didn't get that willingness to just have a little bit of compromise to say, you know what? You might not be my person, but I got to practice something. And I'm going to say it again, to get to this championship, Lola, we got to put in this practice, and I got to practice compromising with somebody.
I'm a rookie who's going to get a ring.
Get your ring.
If y'all don't get it, you need to watch. What was the show we had just before this?
Preparing for Love.
That was a fun conversation.
Preparing for Love.
Yeah. So
we had a
y'all
great
go watch that.
conversation
That was a fun conversation. All this is we just playing semantics here, but that was a good conversation.
Yeah. Let me reset the room real quick. Hey, you guys, if you guys just joining us for Ready to Love deep dive conversation on last night's episode, episode 11. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button for us all, please. We appreciate it. That's all we ask for. We ain't asking for no donations yet. but the collection plate will go around if need be. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna start preaching the word up in here. Just wait just a little longer. Somebody gonna hit us with a word, and y'all gonna be ready. Oops, I'm sorry. I done took you down when Sean put you up.
Playing with you, Tyrone.
No, you don't.
Oh no, you don't leave our
I'm
lives.
bringing them up. Jay, you don't morph into Sabrina. No, I'm running this live.
I'm going to end you on this live.
Bring it back up.
Yes, I need my little control on here. That's why I made my platform so I could have control.
Hello. Okay. Ding ding.
No,
Princess Me, I thought so too. I thought that was interesting and surprising and bold and fearless. And she wanted to keep it real. I don't know how we all feel about that, but I thought that was interesting.
She did her thing. I'm not mad at the way she played the game. I'm not mad at her moving. I told y'all, had I be moving, y'all would have been seeing some crazy stuff out of me up on there. It might have been some pause, retractions from me and stuff. I didn't say what I said, but I said what I said, but I didn't say it like I said it. So I don't know, But at the end of the game, if that's where your heart is as far as playing the game, and I told y'all when we had this conversation, if I'll be on this show, if I don't have my one, yes, I'll probably be on the show still playing the game. So I might have ended just like this. I ain't gonna even lie. But it might have been a lot more honesty in it to telling people, hey, no, you're not the one. They probably would have voted me off a long time ago. And I would have took it gracefully because I'd have been like, yo, my one is not here. I'm about to go home to him because I have been texting him this whole time. Bye.
Isn't that's kind of like how Nye left? Remember?
Yeah.
He was like,
I got mine at home.
I got somebody. Anyway, I've been talking the whole time.
Don't do that, people. Don't do that, please.
But you do what Sabrina do?
Yeah, no, Sabrina. Can you see But Nye it was different, No, she was different. Forget it. She was different because it's one thing I said I can't really judge you on the show, but when you come for an interview and you're still looking crazy, if you remember that live, they were just throwing up clown emojis for the whole 1 hour and a half interview that we had to have. That's when we started doing the live where we had to have a debrief to yo, did you see what I saw? I can't believe what you saw. And that's how we started it. Because she was different. She was different. Let's see how Sabrina plays out when she plays out. That's all.
She was definitely different. But
I'm cool. I can't of course, I'm so okay with how it played out. I hear what you're saying. She probably has something. We all have something. I have issues too, but I'm okay with myself. So it is what it is.
Like I say, me and you, Lola, you and Sean.
Happy to hear that, Lola.
We was all for Kyra last season. And
growth,
like
Lola.
That, so I'm not mad. I just think that certain things should have been said a lot sooner. And I just felt bad for Demetrius. Surprisingly, I was like, I was like, wow, how? How this happened?
I felt like my question was he shocked that he was leaving, or was he shocked that she was leaving him? That was my main thing in my mind. Because he had a shocked look, when he gave her a hug as he was leaving, he's like, damn, this is it for me. This is the end of the road.
Yeah, so I don't think he wasn't. I don't think he was coming to dismiss her.
Right.
No, he wasn't.
It was a shock. It was like, okay, where'd this come from? I wasn't.
He was shocked to hear that you're not my person, or I don't think that we're good together. Whatever.
I was shocked. He had to be shocked.
He was like, wow.
You don't think he was shocked? And
I don't know. If I was shocked, he had to be shocked. Because I was surprised. I didn't expect it.
I think it was just like a huge emotional shift. Because Sean just mentioned he went from possibly this woman's coming to meet my family to it being over.
It's over for me.
So he was probably just like,
damn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. But I ain't gonna show I'm hurt.
That would have hit
Hello, I'm gonna keep that face, that game face.
Like you ain't gonna see a tear drop down on this good blazer.
No,
this one is not waterproof.
It ain't going down like that.
Yo, I'm gonna suck it in.
Nah. But I bet you he was in that bathroom like, what?
He gonna cry in the car.
Yo, I would love someone to get him to really tell us the truth, but he's a tough guy, so I don't know if he's gonna tell us the truth. But he must have felt his heart stop for a second.
What? Yo, I would have been all hot inside, and it's on TV, so I can't even change the story, right? Because if I could change the story, if it's just me and you, I could be like, listen, baby, like, can we just agree that, you know, we just had a mutual thing? But no, this is cameras rolling.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I feel like at this point, after all the conversations they had, none of them are shocked by what's going down.
Mhm.
But I do feel like a lot of them are trying to save face because they know they're on camera.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if you can get yours out first, bang,
Bang,
bang.
bang. I got you a one pistol.
She said 2 shots, 1 pistol.
Yeah.
Night.
I mean,
Yeah.
she nixed him twice. If you really think about it, that's the ultimate. The first one was, yeah, no. Well,
No, not
a
me,
couple
your
of times
family.
she got him in that conversation. She was like, "Hell no for the name change. You could go on with that, brother." Then,
Yeah.
no, the parents,
Yeah, the
maybe a little
pause.
too
The
premature for
pause.
that.
Yeah. The pause.
I would want us to be in a better position before we did that. So then, you know
Yeah.
what? I was challenging and struggling with it, but now I know you're not my person. So it's like,
Y'all,
brother, she turned him into Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Just said,
I knew it was a wrap when she paused after him saying that he wanted her to meet the parents. She paused. I said, ugh.
Ouch.
Oof.
Yeah.
She hit him with a
gotta hurt.
no.
Mm.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
never good. I'd have been like, check.
Yeah, she should have just hit him with the ace fist bump.
Right? Oh man.
You know I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Yikes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not gonna do that.
I want to see that.
He had his brunch boots on.
But this strawberry lemonade is really good.
You know what? Harry's like keep things spicy. Like always coming up with something. The brunch boots on. No. You know what?
But y'all can't front. You know, the brother Demetrius, he has some style about him. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
His beard is always glistening.
He knew how to wear a
What
suit.
kind of beard oil is he using?
No, he knew how to wear a suit.
I don't know.
Body butter
Hopefully it's soft
bakery.
though. No, you got she doing a shameless plug, Tyrone. Say it again. Say it again. What is it?
Said that body butter bakery, maybe. Oh man.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Y'all go get some though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh my goodness. All right. Anyways, we moving on. Finally, we gonna talk about the Sabrina and we ain't done with Sabrina yet, baby. We gonna do Sabrina and Donovan.
Oh no.
Conversation.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh, child. Okay. She said
so we can hit with Donovan now. So you know when you see that exchange between the two of them, it becomes a he said, she said scenario. And I hate to extrapolate or guess, but really the way he was hurt and the way he was acting, like you tend to I guess translate different things in different ways. You know how they say that, you know, eye testimony, and when that, you know, these people come, they see the way he's seeing everything to me is with his emotions. So I believe what she said and know what he's saying, because all of a sudden, within 24 to 48 hours, all of a sudden she's this person that you have all these words to say about. She didn't have the same thing to say about him. So I almost believe her when she says that the reason why the space happened between them was because she drew back because he requested or required that she choose him above Demetrius. Because it's like all of a sudden this lady chasing her throughout that, well, at least a couple of weeks. Then all of a sudden she's this person that just became that person in 24 to 48 hours. It's a little too acute and happened too sudden for something not to have happened emotionally. So I feel like he's reading his emotions. DLC, I don't believe Donovan. I feel the two of them have something to say, but I'm more skewed towards Sabrina's side because Donovan was, that's the word. Donovan really felt pressed. And I feel sometimes when you're upset about something, you translate the situation a different way. But it just seemed that Sabrina remained just logical, like boom, 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 boom. Whereas Donovan was...
I love you, Lola. She remained logical, but her exact words were, and I quote, "You made it clear if I didn't choose you, if I wasn't choosing you, that you were going to move on. So I felt, keyword, I felt. If you feel something by the time you go to this retreat, that is not a keyword that you made it clear. This is where your feeling is. He did not make it clear. Obviously, he didn't make it clear to her. That was the thing. She felt that way, so she moved how she moved. Now, I'm not mad at how she moved because off of her feelings. So they're both working in emotions.
But she's not saying anything negative about him. He's the one that's coming up with these negative. No, think about it. When he said that meeting with wherever they had the end of the getaway house, when he all of a sudden said that she said that you're next and all this, that's how everything. That's when we.
Did you not hear everything she said about him prior to that? She was going in. She gave Demetrius praise and all this stuff like that, and then she went into Donovan like, oh, I don't think he's ready because he's just fresh out of this relationship and yada 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 and stuff like that. And she was just going in.
That's not bad though. If he's fresh out of a relationship, that's not bad. Those are like facts.
Okay, but where's he? What did he say bad to her? And then she got into this episode and started talking about him being a baby and.
He's saying stuff about who he thinks she is, not stuff about what she did, but who he thinks she is. That she's this person. She's not. He was saying she's not accountable. She's not being sincere. All of a sudden, he's fighting for both him and Demetrius. That's not really authentic. Like, when do you start caring about Demetrius?
Are you not saying that's not authentic when if a person is not showing you consistency? If a person's not showing you consistency, we don't see what the consistency is. So if a person's not showing you consistency, and I mentioned you're not being consistent with me.
Yeah, but
and stuff like that, well, I don't know how's that going in. How's that going in? That's not all of a sudden.
Because she has been consistent.
We're in a space where we're all allowing our thing all out. What has she consistently been doing? If you want me to show you something, once again, if you want me to show you something, and you're telling me I'm not showing you that something, and you're not giving it to me.
That's what she told Demetrius, but with her and
but she's doing it with him too. You're not. You're feeding Demetrius. You're feeding Demetrius at the retreat in front of me. You're sitting at the table, literally feeding him his.
That's the premise of the show, though. You're meant to nurse your connections.
Okay, so if you're feeding this man at the show, you're feeding this man, and I'm going over here and talking to this one. Why are you mad?
Yeah, but it's not that she's mad. I feel that she has been consistent with Donovan when she says, you know what? I'm concerned he is fresh out of a divorce, and I don't know if he'll be ready to commit the way I want him to commit. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not saying that's what she said. So those were her concerns. The fact is, and it's true for a man who was fresh out of divorce for a certain period of time, has had 2 children from that divorce. Is he going to want to get married and have children anytime soon? I don't know, but that's something she should consider. And she didn't just start saying that at the getaway house. She said this before. Anything that Donovan's had to say happened from the getaway house, that all of a sudden he suddenly feels that she's not this or she's not that. Now that makes me think that's based on something that may have happened in the getaway house. Like you said, it's one thing to see, I'm interested in this lady, but she's over there with some guy feeding him grapes or whatever she's doing, or sitting on him in the hot tub. That can't make him feel right. So of course he's going to be in his feelings. So now all of a sudden she's this person that she wasn't prior to the getaway house.
Thank you, LJ. That's where she's been consistent at.
Huh?
That's where she's been consistent at, it being inconsistent.
It's consistent though. Her story hasn't changed.
I'm about to play
Her story has not changed. She says this is how I feel about it, and I have to agree. I have to agree that that's a good observation for a woman. If you're a woman and you want to get married, if you see someone who's recently divorced, do you think he's going to double back around and get married? It's not likely, particularly since he has 2 children. And I think the difference between the 2 of them, their divorces, I don't know how long her marriage was, but no, there were no children out of that marriage. He has children out of this marriage. This is something she needs to think about clearly. So I don't have any issue with her being really strategic and thinking, how well will this work? Because the truth be told, I felt in the beginning that she may have liked Donovan more than she liked Demetrius, because she was definitely drawn to him. Donovan came much later, but definitely got some attention. But once she started getting the story of who he was, I feel that's when she started like pulling the post, like, oh, you know what? I don't know if these are my misgivings. So that's what I think. I just feel like between the 2 of them, when you look at the story they're telling, she was factual, saying this is what I feel and it's because of this. He was more talking about how I think about her, not based on facts he had when he had a problem with her. So that's what I'm saying. I'm more skewed to believe her than him, because he was just saying, I think she's this, I think she's that.
His facts is not valid because that's his feelings, but her feelings is valid because that's her
No,
facts.
I said I'm more skewed to believe her because she's talking about what she dislikes, not about his person, but what she's seen.
If I may.
Go ahead. I gotta go ahead.
Go ahead.
I know you have put it in the chat.
Oh, I was just gonna say, even though I've commented on Sabrina a couple of times and I said she's diabolical, that doesn't change. I will say though that in this particular instance, I gotta agree with Lola. I think that Donovan is really, he made a lot of character assassinations that I feel like wasn't warranted from his end. Now, if Demetrius would have made some of those statements, I would have understood. But from him, when you start talking about another man's beef that they have with the person you're speaking to, it's really sensitive and it's given emotional. And I think he kind of took it next level because he was butthurt. And my issue with Donovan is you are playing the same game that she was playing. You got Carmen on your side, literally complete mixed match. You got her wearing church clothes down to the meeting with your mama. Complete fake nonsense, right? But you're dragging her along. Yet you're mad that Sabrina's dragging people along. Both of you guys are playing. Both of you guys are divorcees. Both of you guys don't trust each other. So my thing is, you guys don't trust each other, yet you have all this like character assassination down to the confessional. She's a liar. She's this, she's that. And to me, that emotional energy, it's giving off that you're guilty for something that you done did, because it just really didn't match. Now, if we get an interview and we figure out that she did more than what I can tell, then I will retract my statement. But from what I can see, the energy that he gave Sabrina, she didn't deserve in their relationship. I think she has played a lot of games in other people's relationships. Honestly, I even think Tori should have went off on her and spared her. But in this particular situation, I don't feel like that was justified at all. I feel like they're both wrong. And one is going harder than the other, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of those points. To me, it's coming off as yes, there is a lot of emotion there. And it's coming off like Donovan is upset, thinking that, I feel like it really could have worked with her if she would have just kept it real with me. I also feel like, when we would call Sabrina a little bit pimpish, right? That line that she used on Tori when she was talking about, hey, don't worry about all these other relationships. Let's just focus on us. I don't feel that would have worked on Donovan, right? I feel like Donovan was willing to hear everyone out, but I also feel like Donovan almost thinks in black and white. Either this is going to work based off of what I'm seeing, or it's not. But I feel like Donovan's ability to quickly switch from person to person was probably a red flag to Sabrina, which probably made her feel like he's probably really not that into me if he has the ability to be with someone else, in a matter of minutes. So those are a lot of things I'm seeing on top of everything that was just mentioned.
Same. She went from Tori, Demetrius, Donovan.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, some people.
Like I said, you guys. The thing is, whatever energy you're giving me, you're mad at me for giving you that same energy back. That's what she's been consistently doing, being mad at everybody for giving her the same energy back.
I feel like Donovan in the end was I feel like he really wanted Sabrina.
I think they both were really butthurt because she was sitting here talking about how he got dirty nails and he's being a baby, and he was saying what he said about her. So both people were really butthurt because they didn't choose each other and had to settle for whatever else they decided to choose. Her choosing herself and he choosing the next best thing for him. They both were each other's at some point, both of each other's tops. Or whatever.
Yes, I believe they were.
I agree with that.
Tops. I agree with that. Now, that's the question: is what happened, what transpired to make things different, and that's where the question is. She says it was when he required that she choose him over Demetrius. He's saying something else. Like that's why I said I'm more skewed to believe what she's saying because it makes more sense. One, and then two, he confessed at the end of the episode at the gentleman's lounge when he was pushed, because when he said she's not accountable. Nephew Tommy pushed him and said, what do you mean by that? Because that's another thing you're saying about her without backing it. And that's when he said that she didn't choose me or something. I'm paraphrasing, but he said, and I was like, oh, there you go. The truth has come out. That's why you're mad. That's why everything changed, because she didn't choose him. But that's
I
not
think
the
he
show.
was seeing how she was moving at the retreat, and she was really paying more attention to Dimitri. He was watching how she was moving with Dimitri, and he wasn't liking it. And so he said, "Let me switch my efforts to Carmen." And I think and he was feeling butthurt, and so was she.
And so was she when he switched his efforts.
She wants somebody to be all in. And Donovan didn't do that. I think that she was very sexually, or just like very sexually.
It's more lust. Yeah, it's more lust.
Yeah, she was very, and she even said it. She said, "Oh, he's the type I would definitely go home with." She was very.
She said it. She said a couple more drinks.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Look,
a couple more drinks. But I remember I think we were saying like production put in a lot of work.
Yes.
They've been putting in a lot of work. So I feel like there's things that we haven't even seen or heard. Yeah, so that reunion's going to be spicy.
There's been some maneuvering that we have not been privy to. I absolutely agree with that. I think with Dimitri and Sabrina's situation, there was some maneuvering that we did not see.
Yeah. And I know I probably shouldn't be talking about this because I don't know who has been with what.
Tell us.
But I would imagine by this point, right, there would have been some sex involved. And when you find that out about a person, maybe that could be the point of no return. And we had mentioned the fact that it seems like a lot of them were trying to save face, and get out of it early, and fire their shots off early. But at this point, the whole not keeping it real thing may or may not have been related to something like that, and when you see someone like when Donovan is clearly like emotionally invested and is feeling some type of way, there's got to be a reason behind all that.
I will agree with you, because even though he called that meeting, she said he called that meeting, his posture, he was head down, just like, I was like, why is your head down? Put your head up, like sit back. Like just his whole posture, his whole demeanor during that meeting was just emotional and tension filled. I agree.
He came to slag her off.
He came the same way.
Meeting. He came to slag her off. He wanted to slag her off on camera.
He was done. He wanted to be done.
He wanted to call her names and tell us what he felt about her on camera. That was the purpose of that.
Likewise.
I love you, Jay, but I don't know what you're seeing. Like, you must be feeling like Stevie Wonder.
I'm about to go to it. I'm trying to get to the clip, but likewise, she was doing the same thing. I don't know why I'm here. Like her glass of water. I don't know why I'm here.
So why
you he's over there being a baby and just pounding. We hadn't even gotten into the conversation. He being a baby. He just pounding.
Donovan was butthurt. Like, this is the truth. Let's call a spade a spade. His butt was hurt.
He was butthurt, and she was too.
And it was clenched a little too tight. He could have used a beverage. He could have done, like, he's just doing too much. But that's just my opinion. It's not gospel. You don't have to go with it, but that's how I feel.
Listen, Lola.
As long as you finish with 8.
Donovan watches
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let her be.
Respectfully,
I don't want to be any part of any live that he's going to have that pertains to you. Leave my name out of it, please.
Do your worst. Like, really, that's what.
Don't call him out, Lola.
I'm calling him out.
Like, he normally has
he
time,
and blue
right?
eyes.
Oh no! Because I'll tell you, one time I was debating his timeline. Oh gosh,
he came for you.
Real time feedback.
He came for you.
Huh? No. It wasn't personal, but it was a real time. Like, I want to get you. You're wrong. And
I wish you
had
would
to get some clarity
if you want
around
to. You don't want none of this.
The time.
I really wish I could play.
I've got short hair for a reason. Okay.
Lola,
no, that's okay. This, like,
you're the original smoke artist, so you got it.
If you don't know this is fun and games, then you've lost sight of why you're on the show. Like, yeah, that's it.
You have not been that.
I'm sorry. Let's listen. Can y'all hear it?
Go ahead. What were you listening to?
Was honest and was consistent with me. You have not been that with me. Actually, I don't think you've been that with Demetrius as well. Throughout this journey, I've been really adamant on actions and words aligning, and I felt that she has not met that. I think that she's playing games, She can complain about what the situation is, but this is the chaos that she created. This is on her, not me. What you say and what you do, two totally different things. Two totally different things.
Donovan, he's just sitting there like a bitter baby. And I don't even know how to engage because he's acting so childish. This is awkward AF.
Go ahead, Tyrone, because
because it's not working. Normally, she would be like, shh.
She hit him with that pimp.
And it's not working. Don't worry about them, baby. Worry about us, baby.
Baby.
Focus on us, baby.
I'm just saying.
My voice, baby.
But nothing he said was factual, though. That was his
How is
opinion,
that not
right?
factual? If he's saying that you're not being consistent with me,
Yeah.
how is that not factual?
You're not being consistent. You're playing games.
Yes,
You're
how
not
is that not
accountable.
factual to what that's what his
experience of her, right?
Yeah,
that's his interpretation.
That's his experience of her. That don't make it true, though.
If I'm saying you're not being honest with me, you're not being consistent with me.
I'm not buying what he's selling. I'm sorry.
From my experience, eventually everybody's going to talk. The ladies are going to be like, yo, what's up? What's going on?
Yeah.
The fellas eventually going to be like, yo, what's good? What's going on? Like, let me know what's going on. We about to make some choices. What's the deal? So when he's saying things like inconsistency and what she's saying is one thing and what she's doing is a totally different thing, makes me feel like there's been an information exchange, which may have totally caught him off guard and put him in his feelings.
Gotcha.
To where he can say things like that, but he's saying it in a nice way. It's nice, probably saying it as nice as he possibly can.
Okay.
But we're just reading it different.
Yeah, but he needs to understand it's a game, sir. Like, that's what it's about. Like, calm down. He used to play sports, right? He need to take a breath and keep playing to the end. That's all.
You are not ready.
It is, but I'll tell you, man. I would tell you, like, when it's confirmed that he was lying this whole time, it does make you feel some type of way.
If he confirms that she was lying to him,
even if you know even if you do know it's a game, when it's confirmed that the person was playing you, it's not a good feeling.
I'm sure. Like, I'm playing it down. I'm sure it might hurt. I don't know what may have transpired, but the truth is, I think part of what's going on with Donovan is Donovan looks like an attractive young man. I think he's fairly tall. He might be 5'10" or more. I'm just guessing right now. And so he's used to people, treating him a certain way. Sabrina wasn't one of them, and so that's probably what intrigued him, but what hurt him at the end. That's all. Like, bruh, keep it moving.
They all used to people treating them a certain way. She used to people chasing after her. He used to people chasing after him. Everybody want to chase after everybody, but don't want to chase nobody. Child, it is what it is. And now
but he the one hurt though.
Is he hurt though? Because he done moved on and he got him something else, and she off the show.
He went with the backup. Like, come on, y'all.
Hey, my backup is got banging body. Okay, I will be okay.
You're talking about Nipplegate? That's what we're talking about now.
When my backup is stacked up, I don't give a damn when you act up. Okay, have fun. Move on, sweetie.
He can pick up his little. He can pick up his rattle and his baby bottle.
I will lust with the bus. I will lust with the bus.
Talking about Carmen?
You showing your ass? Yes, we're talking about Carmen.
Yes. See, wait, yes, please.
Yes, we're talking about Carmen.
Yeah, she's talking about Carmen right now. She got a banging body with Nipplegate.
I don't care if it's paid for or not. It's on deck, okay?
I don't know. I mean, but Donovan is kind of a walking contradiction because I still don't know what him and Carmen got in common. But
back up.
I don't know. But my question was gonna be, is this really a game? And I guess this is a serious question because I ask all the time. I guess it's Tyrone or whoever wants to answer, but mostly I just don't understand. Because we keep talking about this is a game, but to me, it doesn't make any sense when there's no prize. I've said this episode, what is the prize except for exposure? And if we're at the point, well, then for me, and this is why I don't watch Put a Ring on It. And I hate to have to put Ready to Love in that category, but I'll add it if need be. Then I just won't be on YouTube at all, I guess. I just can't watch because I can't watch a show like this with the knowledge that it's a game. Because for me, I rather just watch I rather go watch Bridgerton or something else. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm watching Ready to Love, I still need to believe in my head that people are on here looking for love. So if this is certain that this is a game, like if everyone's agreeing that this is a game, for me it doesn't make any sense anymore. Like it just, why are we watching it if it's a game?
I'll tell you this, based on the people that have been with me in the past, that's why you don't see them anymore, because they were really like done. Like once we heard all the background stuff and they were like, well, if this is really just a game and it's not real, I'm done. Shalonda, Shanae, you know, what's her name? All these people, they were just like, this is it. Like, if this is a game, then we're done with it. So that's the truth. That's how they felt. Once we started doing like behind the scenes, talking with the cast, we had one live, and it was just like, really, that's what happened? That's what happened? And they were just like, that's it. That's why you don't see them anymore, because they were just like, what they're expressing what you just said. And, you know, some of us still kind of hanging in there just to play. Like, this is fun time for me, so I'm still hanging in there. But I see it more and more with each season. It's like a game. It's not real, because it's true. When we started watching this show, it was because 30s and 40-somethings coming in to find love. And that's what we're looking for. We watch Bridgerton for love. We want to see romance. But more and more with each season, it seems more orchestrated to come on for exposure, but less for love. Because you might have some people looking for love, but the majority looking for something else. So it wasn't that scene where, what's her name, said, I guess being real doesn't cut it. What's her name again? I can't remember. Yeah. That was it. She's like, okay, being real doesn't cut it, and that was it. So you find that some of the authentic people do get cut earlier on, and then the game players last a little bit longer. Not to say everybody's game playing, but a good number of them are.
Yeah, and I guess I'm that's where I'm at. You hit the nail on the head. I'm struggling because I'm starting to see that, and for me, it's just not making any sense. And then you even have people like Aisha said, oh, she was real. Oh, TT just mentioned it. But Aisha said that she was a real one, but then she went on her channel doing a whole bunch of shenanigans recently. And I really thought that she was like a real one. I'm not saying she's not, but I mean,
you got tired.
But like if you're on the channel now, you're dropping receipts about a person that we believe.
Like
we don't even need your receipts, sis. Whatever you say he did, he did.
I'm with you. See where I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
We don't need the receipts.
Yeah, no,
so
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I'm struggling with that. I don't like that because I started watching it because I really liked the concept. I thought it was a real, innovative concept. I like how they were pushing, showing that you don't stop looking for love just because you're a particular age, especially for women when they try to say, oh, you get a particular age and you're thrown away.
Right.
I liked how they promoted that. And also in the earlier seasons, I like how the Black people on the show were not just the racially ambiguous people that they have on Instagram. Like it was lots of different beautiful Black people, men and women, and I like that. But we still have that portion, but I feel like this is just why. And then you're in careers. Like, someone answer me? What does a engineer, and maybe she has another career that we don't know, but what does an engineer like Dakia need with Ready to Love exposure? Like, what are you trying to do? Is everyone trying to be an influencer?
Well, she got her dance studio, so maybe get some more students in the dance studio now that we're open.
Is that what it is? I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not money. We know they're not getting paid much.
And I agree with Seaway. It's like we're hanging our hat on one couple, Joy and Clifton. That's not enough to say that this is a viable concept. It's sad. It's just, what are we?
Let's see who else makes it outside the show.
More than exposure is what we're saying.
Let's see who else makes it outside the show. Like I say, this sometimes this is exposure as well as maybe you can find your one once you're done with this process.
Once you're done and out of the process,
I would be more scared to do it that way, because now you're just gonna have all kind of random people just coming up to you and all kind of stuff. But maybe you'll find that one. I don't know. I don't know what the success rate of that is. I'm not going back to past cast to find out, are you in a relationship? Are you in a relationship? Are you in love? What you doing? What you got? So, but maybe it does help you just find that one later on, or maybe it helps you see what you're doing wrong. In your own dating process.
I don't mind the failures. Like I don't mind, like for example, that Aisha and Dante tried and they didn't work. To me, that doesn't count as a failure. because despite what despite what he did, I feel like at some point they gave it a college try, and to me, that's a success in my book. You authentically gave love a shot. Did it work? No, but you gave it a shot. To me, that's a win. What I think is the fakeness is like whatever Phil and what's her face did, the IG model,
Sydney.
Sydney and all this type of other stuff. It's like this is all fake, and I know it is. So it's like that to me is a failure. Like either give it a shot, a real shot, or not. But to go on the show and play with everyone's intelligence, it's kind of like people are not going to want to keep watching that. There's so many other scripted shows that we can watch and not have someone play in our face with no prize at the end. So I hope they revamp and go to a city, but I heard they're going to Miami, so more of the IG Rich and Famous to come. You know, so they need to go to a regular city and revamp the show.
Seaway is not gonna let it go. Y'all better listen to Seaway.
She's
every week.
That idea
make sure you give her credits.
Not gonna let that go.
Every week she's here saying this. Okay, go to a small city.
Detroit.
If producers go to Oklahoma, I want my cut because I told them they need to go to a regular city.
If they go to Oklahoma, the ratings
they're gonna go right outside Oklahoma just because.
Right. Okay. See, something like that. But or just do it for a couple of weeks and then have a cast party. Like and then they can intermingle and meet each other that way, outside of this bubble, outside of this thing. But
but you even kind of saw it with Love is Blind, that people saw how successful and financially successful that Lauren and Cam were, right? And people saw that show basically changed their life. So with the second season, you had a lot more inauthentic people because people think they're going to be Lauren and Cam. And what they don't understand is you either have the juice or you don't, because on that same show, the other couple is selling their home and don't have money. So the thing is, you can't. Lauren and Cam are blessed, and God decided to touch their lives. They went on the show authentically. They found love, and in return, they were blessed. But people think they could just duplicate this stuff and they're going to have the same result, and it's watering down the shows. So it's not just. I don't think it's just Ready to Love. I mean, Love is Blind second season was a complete mess compared to the first season. So I don't know. Everybody looking to be seen.
But that's it, though. Everybody wants to be an overnight success or overnight superstar. They just want some attention. People just want attention. Honestly, that's what it is. And that's it. That's all. So we'll see how it goes. But I do feel they need to change something in the lineup with the next season, or they'll continue to lose viewers. And maybe when they lose viewers, they'll realize they need to change up the seasoning a little bit. That's it, really.
It just seems like the people who go on there with integrity, it just doesn't seem to sell. And in the end, they need to sell the show.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's no drama. If somebody's there to actually fall for somebody, like I get like Joy and Clifton, there's no like real drama. There's no excitement. There's no like craziness. So it's not exciting. It's not.
It's like so you mean to tell me you came on a show called Ready to Love? Like really looking for love? What is wrong with you?
Exactly. Like what are you thinking? You really want to actually do that?
No, I'm gonna make you date some people that you're not even attracted to.
So you really want to meet somebody and like have a long-standing relationship? Crazy.
And I'm gonna force you to have 2 or 3 people meet your family. All right, let me stop.
Who does that?
Donovan and his mother.
Only Jay does that. I have everybody come meet my family. Y'all want to meet them right now? Hold on, baby. No, I'm like, what? What? Y'all want to meet my daddy right now? Come here, daddy. No,
right. And even when they do make it, there's a lot of negativity saying they ain't gonna last. They ain't gonna last. I don't like it.
Listen, Flavor of Love was when it was because we knew it was gonna be a hot mess any daggone way.
Oh yeah.
When that lady put that chicken in the microwave and tried to cook it, we knew it was gonna be some mess. But we supposed to have faith in this show because we supposed to be taking it more serious. But like I say, once they said it's on drama weekend, we already knew it was going to be. So here we are talking about the drama and having great debates on it.
How many in our promos? They use the word drama in almost every promo.
Mm-hmm. It's
the word drama
weekend
more than they use the word love.
Yep. So that's where we're at with it. But listen, that unfortunately that's the world we live in. Negativity sells, love doesn't, hate does, you know. So we push more of the negative and hope that we get something out of it. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. But to those of you that do make it out and find love, congratulations. Are you? You know. Tell us how it really feels.
Feels good. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm really tired.
Yeah. Anyways, we of course again we have made this more than what it was, the episode more than what it was. My cat is over it at this point now.
Last thing, you guys, what did you think of Donovan's mother and Carmen?
Oh, baby, she needs her own show, baby. I love her.
Yeah. I was waiting for the scenes with the moms because I already know moms are gonna keep it real. Moms is gonna, let out some secrets about you. You can see Donovan was trying to keep it on the hush.
Yes.
Hey, mom was like, "Can I make a call?"
She's like, "Hey, ma. Hey, ma. Hey, let's not go there yet, ma." Right.
Yes.
Me and my mom's is cool too, and she would have definitely been like, "Girl, run."
Yes.
She'd be like, "Hey, I know my son. I know my son.
He just ran up out of here. I will get him back. You come back.
Yeah,
I will get him back. Yeah, yeah. The moms had me here. She had the whole episode for me when she got into it. I was like, I love her.
And she had good questions too. She was funny. My mother.
Actually, I love this cast family a lot. You know, I did. The ones that we got to see this episode, I did appreciate them. They did ask some really great questions, all of them. Like, they really all did. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Demetrius, so I don't know what questions his family or whoever he would have brought ahead. But
I hope they had another reason to fly in outside of meeting Sabrina.
Right. What if they came on? But what if they came on was like, "So are you the submissive type?" Like, oh damn.
You know he needs a submissive woman. She would have been like, "Check, I'm out."
That is it. I just take my mic off now. Thank you. No, but yeah, no, the family has some great questions. Oh, anyways, next week we'll see more family. So we'll see how the ladies' family fare out. You know, once again, I'm still not sure if Dakia's mama knows her child because she talked about some babies and stuff. It even caught Dakia by surprise, the look on her face. Now I don't know if that was edited in the cutaway, but Dakia looked quite surprised, like babies. All my dance students is baby mama. What the hell is you talking about? We got Joy. Who's Joy bringing? Dad, huh? Did she say her daddy? Who she said she was bringing? Y'all remember?
I don't recall.
Joy's father passed away. It couldn't have been her father.
Oh yeah, her dad's dead. So who I don't know. Show a clip of who Joy was bringing. And Donovan reveals what we already know because he done revealed it on his live already several times. If y'all did not pay attention, that he has been this one that stepped out on his relationship. Okay.
He what?
So we don't see.
Oh, right.
He stepped out his relationship.
Yeah.
When he's married.
Yeah, that's what they said in the previews as well.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it. And I said if you haven't known from his live, because he has said it on his lives too, that he has been the one who has stepped out on the marriage.
Jay, how do you keep up? Like I see.
I think that was implied in his confessional, right?
Yeah,
when he introduced himself.
Yeah, he did say it.
Yeah. I keep up because I be at work and I got nothing but time to listen to things while I'm over here baking.
Because I'll see like there's one time I don't know what live was on. It was on YouTube by somebody else, and I see another round fly. I'm like, damn, she everywhere. Like, what in the world?
Because I got nothing but time to listen. I'm gonna listen to the food.
In there, like, how do you even know they're having a live? Like you just.
Jay
Sometimes I
like
just come out there on Instagram.
Notification.
Jay like to be in the comments, enticing them to say shit that
Yes.
they ain't
Exactly.
supposed to be saying. Yeah.
I be in the comments petty as hell. Y'all don't give me no attention. Tyrone be ignoring me
I
and
love
just
it.
laughing. If y'all ever see Tyrone laughing for no reason, that's because I done said
It's
something.
because Jay, yeah. Jay trying to get me to go there. Mm-mm.
And I'm like, Jay, what did you just say?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's so true, huh? These shows are reflecting modern dating culture.
That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are a microcosm of the real world. I don't think there's anything too alarming that's not stuff anybody has experienced.
They need to just let me interview them prior to coming on, and then let me.
Oh, you gonna do the vetting?
Ain't nobody gonna come on.
And then let me fix the dates, so we have maximum.
Tyrone gonna sit there and be like, "You are too aggressive." They'll be like, "Oops."
Not only will we have maximum drama, but we'll also have maximum like choosing. I will put them in positions to where they have to express themselves.
Not maximum drama.
It's going. It would be.
You wasn't.
It would be
dramatic,
amazing.
though. Tyrone, you were pretty even. You just fell in love with the wrong one too quick.
I wasn't in love.
I might be exaggerating.
I wasn't in love. I was gonna try to give it. I was gonna try to give it a shot. And like Seaway says, if you give it a shot and it don't work, it's still a success.
Well, she was running down alleys.
Here goes Sean. Here goes Sean.
Sean, like he saved this for the end.
Sean gonna give you maximum drama as long as he on the show too. Put Sean with you, Tyrone.
Well, how's she running down alleys? Come on, bro. Tell her she don't want to be saved.
That's all right. See, he didn't
What
follow
was she
her
ready?
down the
She was
alley
ready
and
to
look what he
run.
got. He followed her down the alley and look what he got. He aces tight. You know what I'm saying? He got all aces in his hand right now. He winning.
Hey.
That's it.
He win, and they over there
East
on
New York. Nah, high vibe. No East New York. That would be
scary.
Scary. No.
Like I don't go walk around East New York anyhow. Just carefully, gingerly.
Exactly. There's parts of Brooklyn that are gentrified, and that is not one of them.
Ready to love a Bronx tale. No,
oh gosh, that's love and hip hop,
right?
We're going back to Joe Buttons. Oh jeez, man. I don't know. After Miami, we got to figure out where they're going next. I guess it's going to be 2 seasons of Miami, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
They'll probably be in Fort Lauderdale. You know how Ready to Love does.
I told you don't be on the outskirts because you know it's not many black people up in. I'm just gonna keep it real. There's not many up in there.
In Miami?
You looking at dark skinned people, and I'm talking about actual black people. They're not in Miami. They visit Miami.
Are they going to be
tons of black people in Miami. We go to Miami.
I think they are. I think they are because in the casting, they didn't specify.
Some Dominicano, some different.
Yeah, they didn't specify.
That's what we're about to see a
ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a mixture, and I'm not mad at it. You know, people love who you love. Do your thing.
And it's not what am I saying? It's on a different publication now, too, the show. So I think they got bought out by someone else. So the demographic is a little bit different.
Interesting. Nice to know.
What show? Ready to Love?
Yeah. Let me yeah, let me make sure before
inside information.
Yeah, let me make sure before I say that out loud.
Exit first.
Danny, when you moved, all the black people move with you. Don't worry about it. They ain't there no more.
Because I think when it was airing, like it was on a specific network. I think that's what I'm talking about. And I think it airs on different networks now.
Okay.
And the network bought them out.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see.
I hope I said that right.
We'll figure it out. We'll see. They got one more season to get it right, man. Look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut them off like Love and Hip Hop.
I do gotta go soon, y'all, though.
We all going.
We about to wrap up?
Yeah,
Okay.
we wrapping it up. We ain't got nothing else to talk about.
All
We
right.
just here bumping up now. Anyways, let's go around and tell everybody what you got going on, what you got in the works. Crystal, starting with you.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Sean, for letting me join tonight. This has been a lot of fun. What's up to Seaway, Lola, and Tyrone? This has been a lot of fun. Please subscribe to Crystal Lynette on YouTube. Misha Allen and I do our Ready to Love and Put a Ring on It tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then I've got some women's panels I'm going to be scheduling. So just make sure you put your notifications on because I got a lot of things coming. And, Ida always joins me on my show. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So that's it.
Tyrone.
Oh, Ty Wilson, 21 everywhere.
You
Starting
gotta be prepared on there.
Be more active on the YouTube. I know I took a couple weeks off, but you're going to see a lot more of me talking about mental health. Ace and I have some things planned as well. I'm still on my cybersecurity madness. So if you follow my company cybersecurity page, you'll see a whole bunch of talks there as well. Twitter, IG. I'll be around. So thank y'all for having me. Everyone in the audience, thanks for showing up and supporting. I look forward to interacting with everybody here really, really soon.
Thank you, Tyrone, for running through these back-to-backs with me, being here.
Oh, yeah. I love Doctor.
Dr. Phil.
Lola. Go ahead, Lola.
All right. So me, yeah, it was been real. Thank you, guys. I always love to be the odd man out there. Look, in all these Ready to Loves, I'm always the odd man out every season. There's always somebody I love that everybody else hate, but that's okay. We're used to it. But back to what I do. So I will be premiering both my episode of Ready to Love and Put a Ring on It at 11 and 1 p.m. EST, and LMH will be Monday. So, but yeah, I'm here to have fun. Like, just, take it light. It's not that serious. Like, you can see Tyrone. He did it. And he found his love. We're keeping our fingers crossed and we're praying for him. Please, all the good love towards him. But yeah, he did it. And he came out. He knows we talked about him for just a hot second. So y'all just need to pipe down, forget it. It's not that serious. That's all I have to say. It's been real. Oh yeah, my YouTube channel. I guess I should tell you is my name. So look at my name, Dim, and that's how you find me. But yeah, thank you. But don't forget to watch the episode before this. That was fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we did prepare for love.
They were trying to therapize me. I don't know if they got what they needed, but they got something.
We tried to save her before we got on this here live, but she clearly ain't ready. No. Thank you too, Lola, for rocking with me through both sessions and stuff. And difference of opinion is always good here because it moves the conversation. It moves the conversation further. We get to learn more and can't all just be agreeing on everything, but we always come to eye at the end. See why you there? You want to say anything to the people before you go? Is she there?
Yes. I'm here. Well, it was wonderful talking to you guys. I know I'm avataring it today because I am packing.
Yeah, where's your face? Show your face.
Yeah,
talking all this mess behind the avatar.
I am an avatar today because I am packing so I can finally take a break from this crazy job I got. But yeah, it was really wonderful talking to you guys, engaging with you guys in the comments. As always, you can catch me on either Another Round when I'm visiting or Kojo's channel. I do not have a channel, do not plan to have one. So y'all catch me here. And yeah, it was wonderful. Let's have a wonderful Easter tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
it's true. Seaway's ride on Peloton.
Oh yeah, Seaway's ride on Peloton. Even though I've been slacking on that too because this job is trying to take my life. So yeah.
You said take your life.
Yeah, no. We ain't gonna speak that into existence.
You're a whole Seaway. That's a good
I didn't know about the Peloton. I did 38 miles today on the bike.
You did?
I didn't know y'all was into that. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Drop your Pelly.
I'm on Strava. I'm not on Peloton. I'm on Strava.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Those of us, we do the old school method. I go outside and use my legs. Okay.
That's all right. That's all right. Y'all can connect on Zoom and y'all can watch
My
ride
kid
on
is
Zoom.
With the FaceTime.
Right. Watch each other ride.
I'm walking my dog twice a day.
Yeah, only the cool kids do this Peloton thing. So it's you and Sean, huh?
Well, if y'all do it on TikTok.
No, there's some more Peloton people out there.
Yeah, actually, a couple
the
people
cool
follow
kids.
me when I drop my Pelly name. A couple people follow me.
Yeah.
It's a whole little community.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a movement I don't plan to join, but I admire y'all.
It's not just the bike Lola. It's like I be doing their strength workouts, their core workouts.
Oh, they've added stuff to it.
Yeah, it's a whole there's yoga
platform.
Yeah,
it's a whole
gospel
workout
yoga
platform.
on Sunday.
Smart people. That's how they get your money. Smart.
Yeah,
that's smart.
Yeah. Lola gonna stand in her boundaries if she don't do nothing else.
That's why her and Sabrina. That's why she likes Sabrina so much.
Right.
Because she's immovable.
Want to look, let these guns talk to you, and I don't have a Peloton.
Lola was 10 toes down tonight.
Right.
Always.
You
this is meant to be fun. This is like we all have regular jobs. This is meant to be fun. This is why we do this. This is why I started with Kojo, because it's fun. You talk some shit and go to bed. Excuse my French, but then you go to bed. That's it. That's all. It's not that serious, y'all. We're all having fun. This is entertainment.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah.
I ain't about to fight you over these people I don't know.
Not really. We used to talk a whole lot of stuff back then. We've softened up. We've changed. I knew people, if they wanted to meet me in the streets, they'd be looking for me back in the day.
That is something I learned, Tyrone. When you guys do your channel, don't with these people in the comments. Listen, it's fun. It's a reality show or whatever we're talking about. I don't know you. It's okay. Yeah, I'm sure you've already realized that. I'm like, good gracious.
All right, Shauna. Sean.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I paused from doing any. Well, not unfortunately, fortunately, for a little bit from doing stuff on my own channel. So I do obviously come into another round. So you'll see me here, and you'll also see me on Little Black Book from time to time. So.
And on Peloton, y'all find him.
And definitely, you'll catch me on Peloton. I fell off the last couple of weeks because work's been a beast, but I'm there.
Oh, quickly, can I quickly say something? Because I know someone dropped a comment in one of my videos. I haven't left Kojo. Kojo is my brother. We're blood. When I get a minute, this is Kojo right now. That's why I'm here, because of Kojo. So that's what it is. When I get a minute, Kojo and I always shoot the breeze. Because someone said, "What? You and Kojo aren't friends?" I'm like, "What? We're family." So I'm still with him. We'll be together forever. It's just it's been a longer time. I'm not like then. I used to be there every week, sitting down for 4 or 5 hours. We're getting old now. We can't do that anymore. So that's all.
Yeah, we got to get it together. Everybody is good over here. We all love. We all family. Yeah. We jump around when we can and stuff.
Yeah.
And again,
people have a life. People have a life.
Mama want a life too. Mama want a life too.
People have a life.
It's a life.
Yeah, it's like.
For real, I'm trying to have my life. Y'all got to get up early in the morning, so y'all better stop.
Yeah,
okay,
my life
exactly. I remember in the beginning, I used to be on somebody's live every other day.
All right,
this was great. Thank you.
Thank you guys for being with us in the audience. You guys have been wonderful too, because you guys have been here keeping us entertained this whole time. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave any comments. Would you agree, disagree? We take it all. Okay, let us know how you feel about any of these people. If you want to argue about them, that's fine too. We might do it too, because I got time sometimes. Anything. Anyways, y'all be back again. We'll be back again next weekend with another Preparing for Love next weekend. I think, what did I say, Tyrone? I forgot what I said already. We was going to shoot. I figured out. I forgot, y'all, but we'll be back next Saturday with another Preparing for Love.
Religion.
So no, not that soon, because I'm gonna Kojo on that one. So we'll see how he's feeling. But we have another one next Saturday. So meet me back here. Hopefully, Kojo, you guys send him love prayers and stuff, because he was down under the weather from his travel. He got a little travel bug. So hopefully he's back next Saturday to do this, so I won't have to be prepared for you guys, or hopefully he let me know early enough so I do be prepared. Either way it go, we had a pleasure having you guys here. You guys have a great, wonderful night. Happy Saturday and happy Sunday to you all. Stay blessed. Until the next time, peace and love. Bye.